Golden Age Radio is starting now. Subscribe to get future updates.
Hey everybody, get ready for some great shows. Starting out with Cavalcade of America, Lux Theater with some great Hollywood stars, Groucho Marx, one of the best comedians in history, and also followed by the hilarious Red Skelton.
The Cavalcade of America, presented by DuPont. This evening marks the opening of a DuPont exhibit in the New York Museum of Science and Industry in Rockefeller Center, New York City. Later on, you will hear more about this exhibit from three noted men, Dr. F.B. Jewett, president of the Bell Telephone Laboratories, Mr. Lamont DuPont, and Dr. C.M.A. Stein, vice president in charge of DuPont research activities. Recognizing the great educational advantages of such an exhibit, this evening the DuPont Cavalcade of America salutes one of the foremost American educators, William Holmes McGuffey, creator of the famous McGuffey Readers. The painstaking study and careful selection necessary to produce these books or to achieve success in any field of endeavor are akin to the work of our present-day research chemists. Day after day, they carry on their work with the same meticulous care. These are the men who are constantly striving to fulfill the DuPont pledge, better things for better living through chemistry. As an overture, Don Voorhees and his DuPont Cavalcade Orchestra present a special setting of the famous Sweetheart song, Will You Remember, from Sigmund Romberg's operetta, Maytime. For more than 60 years, succeeding generations of Americans accepted the McGuffey Readers as the foundation of their education.
Today, a McGuffey reader is a cherished item among book collectors, a volume treasured by bibliophiles. Let's look into the library of Edward Smith, who is showing off his books to an old friend of his, Tom Robinson.
Tom, I want to show you something. Here's a book I think you'll remember. Here, look at this.
A McGuffey reader.
Yeah, that's right. A first edition of the 6 of the Eclectic series. Does it take you back, Tom?
Way back, Ed. Back into the 80s. Back in the little schoolhouse in Ohio. Say, Ed, you know a lot about books. I remember the McGuffey readers, but who was McGuffey, anyhow?
Well, I've just been looking him up, Tom. His name was William Holmes McGuffey. He was born in West Findlay Township, Pennsylvania, in 1800. He had quite a career.
I've always wondered what he did, aside from the readers.
Well, it's an interesting story, Tom. McGuffey was the second of 11 children in a pioneer family that settled in Trumbull County, Ohio, in 1802. That country was frontier then, of course, part of the Great Western Territory.
Yeah.
State of Ohio was just then being set up. Of course, there weren't any schools. Imagine being 14, Tom, without a school to go to.
To you and me, that would have seemed like heaven.
Yes, Tom, but young William McGuffey was a different kind of boy. He practically demanded an education. His parents taught him to read and write, of course, but he hankered for knowledge, and his mother encouraged him. One day, as his mother was working in the garden, weeding the vegetable patch, when young William...
Mother! Oh, Mother! Where are you? Here in the garden, William. Mother! Mother, look what I've got. What is it? Books. 2 of them. I walked to the minister's and he lent them to me. And they said I might have more when I finished these.
You walked to the minister's? It's a long way, my boy.
Oh, I didn't mind. Father said I might go after I fixed the pasture fence. Listen, Mother.
Yes?
Do you suppose I'll ever be able to go away to study, to learn, and maybe go to college? Seems so hopeless.
Oh, nothing is hopeless to the Almighty, William.
I know. I try to believe as you do. But I'm getting older. There seems such a little chance.
We must have faith, William. We know that our prayers are heard in heaven. Be a brave boy.
Yes, Mother, I will. But about my going to college, you make better prayers than I do. Perhaps you'd better do the praying.
William, my boy, just remember, whatsoever we ask in his name. Our Father, we thank thee. We acknowledge thy manifold goodness. We know that...
Well, Tom, while Mrs. McGuffey was praying for her son's education, a man came down the dirt road close by the McGuffey home. A man on horseback. A second man carrying a rifle met him.
Howdy, stranger. Anything wrong?
Oh, so. Why, yes. It seems there is. Old Sol here's lost a shoe.
Spurring to these parts, ain't you?
I come from Washington County, Pennsylvania.
Huh. Going far?
That would be hard to say.
What's your name?
Thomas Hughes.
What'd be your business?
I am a school teacher.
School teacher?
Yes.
What be you doing here? The frontier is no place for learning. We need men out here, not schoolmarms.
I think very soon you'll need those who can be both. There ought to be children who are eager to learn and parents who are anxious to have them taught.
Yeah, but how are you going to teach them? There's no schoolhouse here.
I have a schoolhouse back in Pennsylvania called the Old Stone Academy. I'm searching for contributions to support the school and for pupils as well.
Well, looks like you ain't going to get much further searching for young'uns to teach to get that horse fixed.
Well, that's true. Is there a smithy nearby?
Not for miles. I'll tell you. You sit here till I go down the road and put the pasture bars up. Then you come on home with me. It's only down the road a piece. We can put you up for the night.
Well,
Ma'll be glad to have company. In the morning, my boy Jake will fix that shoe. He's as handy as any blacksmith, Jake is.
Well, that's very kind of you.
Now, don't ride that horse another step. His hoof's bad now. You wait right here. It's most dark. It's easy to get lost in the woods. I won't be long.
It is dark. Yes, and so. Good old Saul. You deserve a real rest tonight. You want to nibble the grass, do you? Well, all right. Come over here. Oh, quiet, Saul.
But unto thee all things are possible.
A woman praying.
Heavenly Father, most particularly I pray for my boy, William, whose need is great. I ask help in the name of thy dear Son. Amen.
Amen.
I wasn't gone more than a minute, was I? Now you just lead your horse and follow me.
Well, tell me, friend, before we start. Is yours the only family living along this road?
Well, the only one on the other side. The McGuffeys own the land over here.
The McGuffeys? Who are they?
Greatest bunch of Indian fighters in the county. There's 11 youngsters, nice, all of them. Their mother brings them up strict. William, he's the oldest boy. He knows the good book almost by heart.
Well.
Their garden's right back of those trees, but the house is over yonder. Strangers never see it from the road. If you spotted it in this light, you must have mighty good eyes, Professor.
I didn't see the house.
And how'd you know it was there?
God moves in mysterious ways. Some people might say I found it out by a miracle. I should like to come back and visit that house in the morning. I think I've found the pupil.
So the Reverend Hughes went back to the McGuffey house the very next day, Tom. And young William McGuffey went back with him to the Greersburg Academy in Pennsylvania as a pupil. Young McGuffey earned his way by working in the Hughes house and in the garden. Well, later on, he attended Washington University. And in 1826, he was appointed professor of ancient languages at Miami University in Oxford, Ohio. And as he grew older, he became a strict taskmaster. But his students all loved him. And then, one day, a group of students were waiting for him in his famous classroom on the second floor of Harrison Hall.
Am I late? Yeah. I almost skated down the hall for fear of catching it from Guff.
No, you're all right. He hasn't come in yet. Faculty meeting, I guess.
No, it's visitors. I saw them with Prexy half an hour ago. Hey, you're new here, aren't you? New in this class, I mean?
Yes, and new at Miami University, too. Even before I came here, I heard that Guff was a terror.
Well, then you talked to the wrong people. Guff's all right. He's the best prof in college.
I've never seen him. The dean just sent me down here. Say, tell me, what does Guff look like?
Homely's a hedgehog. But you don't mind that if you know him. Hey, he wears a shiny black suit and a stovepipe hat, and he carries a cane. Yeah, but wait until you hear him talk. He's really a wonderful orator.
But what a fiend for work. Lots of times he gets us into the classroom before breakfast. Yeah, imagine that.
Oh, Guff really believes the greatest thing in the world is the power of speech. You'll see, you'll get lessons in enunciation and pitch and such things, and at the end of the month, he'll have you orating at the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
My dear friends and neighbors, it gives me a great deal of
Cut
pleasure.
down, will you? Here he comes.
Well, there's someone with him, too.
Come in, gentlemen. This is my classroom. We can talk here quite undisturbed. Boys, I'm sorry to have kept you waiting, but our conference must be postponed. Report to me tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock.
Right, sir.
Very well, sir. At 6?
Didn't I tell you? Before breakfast.
Hush, he'll hear you. Come on.
Please sit down, gentlemen. Thank you, Miss Guthrie. Well, I'm honored by this visit. Tell me, what's the reason for it?
Mr. McGuffey, I'll get to the point at once. Mr. Mansfield and I have come to you for help and advice in solving a problem of national importance.
Well, Mr. Drake, I regard you and Mr. Mansfield as among the outstanding figures in the educational world today. I should certainly be most happy to be of any service to you. What is the problem?
The education of our nation. In the past 25 years, millions of people have poured into the Middle West, as you well know.
And they must be educated, Mr. McGuffey.
We want you to outline a definite plan for public education.
We want more than that. The establishment of schools will be only a part. We want a plan for the development of a true American culture.
You ask a great deal of me, gentlemen.
We do it advisedly, Mr. McGuffey. Your reputation as a leader has spread. We need men who are educators as well as teachers.
Yes. Out here, we're cut off from New England. We're raw and uncultured. But we're sending down our roots. We must coordinate the efforts of every teacher in the Middle West. As you say, most of our people are uneducated. But there is intelligence in them. and a desire to learn if we can make learning possible. Our first step, gentlemen, is some sort of an association.
You mean that we teachers should form an association?
I mean exactly that. We must get in touch with every educator we know. We can work for laws establishing common schools. We can ask the government to levy taxes for their upkeep.
Why, that's the idea we've been looking for.
It's a magnificent plan.
And a magnificent time to carry it out, gentlemen. Here and now, we three can initiate a campaign which will give education to a whole nation. Why, we can found a race of educated people.
Naturally, Tom, the first need of the new common schools was for textbooks, and McGuffey was called upon to supply this need. So in 1836, he compiled a first and a second reader. In 1837, a third and a fourth. And then in 1839, he was elected president of Ohio University. So he moved with his family to Athens, Ohio. One night, he was working as usual in his study with his wife, Harriet.
Haven't you worked long enough for one evening, William? You must be tired.
Well, the publishers want the revisions on the second reader by Tuesday. I must work while I can.
You love the readers, don't you, William? You know, sometimes I think they mean even more to you than your work here at the college.
Well, they're so badly needed, Harriet. Children should be able to read about pleasant, familiar things. And I want to give them the best literature in the world. But most of all, I want to give them standards. Moral and social ideals which they will express one day as citizens.
All that in one set of readers?
All that in the McGuffey readers, if I can manage it. You know, Harriet, I dream about it. Schools all over America. Little boys with shining faces, grubby hands. Little girls with curls in pinafores.
And all of them reading from your books.
Yes. Reading something interesting and something which will do them some good, too.
That's true.
Of course, at present, my readers are in only a few schools.
But someday, William, they'll be in every school in the country. And then you'll be famous. They'll make statues of you.
When is it you think the world is going to discover my true work?
Sooner than you think. William, while those elm trees that we planted today are still standing, all America will be saying, what a wonderful person he was, this man McGuffey.
Well, Tom, it turned out that Mrs. McGuffey was right. For only a very few years passed before recognition came to Professor McGuffey for his influence on the cultural life of America. He was invited to fill the chair of moral philosophy at the University of Virginia, a position he occupied until his death. It was 1873 that he was taken seriously ill. So ill, he was unable to lecture. A group of his students came to visit him in the infirmary.
How is he today, nurse?
Be very quiet, please. He's quite weak. You must only stay a few minutes.
We don't want to disturb him. We only want to see him.
He'll be glad you're here. He asked for you. This is his room.
Carl, Arthur. Well, come in, come in. Well, I'm glad to see you.
We came, sir, to tell you how much you're missed in your classes and to say we hope you'll be well again soon.
Well, thank you, Carl. Perhaps I shall be. But I'm an old man. My sons are dead. My old friends are gone.
Your students are here, Professor, and we need you.
Well, that's pleasant to hear. Makes me feel the work I've carried on for so long not been in vain.
No one can take your place, sir. No one teaches as you do.
You're a good student, Carl. How well I know that eagerness you have, that desire to learn. When I was your age, in the old Stone Academy, we had few luxuries. But we had books and teachers. That was all that mattered. Knowledge, that's what really matters in the end.
You've taught your students to realize that, sir.
And I wanted to.
I wanted to do so much. But the years run away like sand between the fingers.
But with all you've done, you must enjoy life.
The young enjoy life. The old, existence. The young are on the voyage of life. The old have reached the harbor.
Mr. McGuffey.
Here's your nurse. We must go now.
The class sent many messages to you, sir.
Tell them I think of them often.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, that I might speak to all of you once more. But thy will be done. Good night, my boys. Good night. Good night.
And that's the story of William McGuffey's life, Tom. The man who compiled the McGuffey Readers. You see, Tom, he was trying to teach us something more than reading when he made up those books.
Yes, Ed, I see. And I understand the McGuffey Readers now. It was what he put into them that made us like them. You know, a whole lot of us are better people because of that man, McGuffey.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I would like to have you meet the distinguished guests whom we mentioned at the beginning of this evening's Cavalcade program. And I would like also to make a news announcement concerned with their being here. Tomorrow, the New York Museum of Science and Industry, in cooperation with the DuPont Company, opens at the museum in Rockefeller Center a colorful and comprehensive exhibit dramatizing the part that chemistry plays in daily life. Dr. F.B. Jewett, president of the trustees for the museum, is here to tell us something about it, and I present him now, Dr. Jewett.
The words New York Museum of Science and Industry are apt to sound a little heavy, as though the museum might be filled with highly technical exhibits, interesting to the scientist, but not to you and me. I assure you that such is not the case. It is primarily a place of moving things, where one can see in operation the simple scientific principles on which our intricate machines and processes are based. In it, you can push buttons and pull levers to your heart's content and see the wheels go round. I have watched hundreds, young and old, as they look at such things as Edison's first phonograph and the crude machines which followed it, or at models tracing the development of the steamship, and I can tell by the looks on their faces and the length of time they watch that they're enjoying it all thoroughly. And tomorrow we will have another important and interesting exhibit for you to come and see the next time you are in New York. It is a visual presentation called Better Things for Better Living Through Chemistry, sponsored by the DuPont Company. It shows by means of displays, working models, and demonstrations how some of the things chemistry does for you and me are accomplished. It is appropriate that the museum should present such an exhibition. The museum's whole purpose is to illustrate the advance of our civilization through the achievements of science and industry. And chemistry has contributed so much to modern living that an exhibit of its products forms a vital part of the pageant of America's progress. Here with us this evening on the stage of this radio theater are Mr. Lamont DuPont, president of the DuPont Company, and Dr. Charles M.A. Stein, vice president responsible for the company's broad research program. First, we shall hear from Mr. DuPont. Mr. DuPont?
Thank you, Dr. Jewett. Ladies and gentlemen, though the Cavalcade of America program is sponsored by the DuPont Company, this is the first time our people have permitted me to appear on it. Their judgment has been good, but I'll let you decide whether that applies to keeping me off the air in the past or letting me on now. I am really pleased to be here, and I hope you enjoyed tonight's program as much as I did. The sketch about McGuffey's famous readers stirred memories of school days and brought back the times when our teachers took us to task for the way we studied or failed to study our textbook. The chemical exhibit which Dr. Jewett mentioned is, I think, an interesting one. And as a medium for visual education, it shows in a striking way the progress made since McGuffey's time. To me, this exhibit brings home one point with special emphasis. It is this. Every research chemist, whether he works in an industrial laboratory, at a university, or at some homemade apparatus in his cellar, is creating for his fellow men. He creates something new, and it is passed on to us all. He improves an existing product, and the same thing happens. Someone must make the things for us to enjoy. The research chemist is indeed supplying better things for better living and providing new jobs besides. One of the most skilled research chemists it has ever been my pleasure to know is my associate, Dr. Charles Stein. He is standing here beside me now. I'd like to have you meet him. Dr. Stein.
The achievements of science and its contributions to our health, food, clothing, housing, in fact, to our daily life in all its phases, are too often described as some sort of magic. Some people, I fear, imagine that scientific developments of great industrial importance are achieved almost as easily as rubbing an Aladdin's lamp. The only Aladdin's lamp which science, as your everyday servant, can use, has for the oil which makes it burn an accumulation of scientific knowledge from many sources. The wick which conducts the fuel to the flame is woven out of the coordinated, interlacing efforts of a multitude of research workers. The lamp itself, of course, is the research institution, and the material used in fabricating this Aladdin's lamp of scientific development is truly gold, because for every advance in our industrial civilization, we must spend hundreds of thousands, yes, millions of dollars on research. Finally, the flame of this lamp is brilliant and light-giving, or smoky and sputtering, just in proportion as the spirit of wisdom trims the wick and attends upon the light. We raise this burning lamp of applied science, and by its light peer eagerly ahead in an effort to glimpse the future, insofar as the path of the future may lead through the research laboratories of applied science. We glimpse the possibilities of new chemical compounds as medicinals to alleviate suffering and correct the disordered chemistry of the human body. We vision the increased control of pests that cost the farmer $6.5 billion a year, and foresee better yields from acres enriched with scientifically produced fertilizers. We glimpse wonderful new materials for clothing. We see just ahead new materials for construction of houses, for the production of smart and inexpensive home furnishings, of new and exciting articles of every kind. Science and industry, working hand in hand, already have taken remarkable strides toward making life healthier, happier, and more complete. Therefore, it seems logical that these achievements of today foreshadow still more interesting and useful developments from applied science, and more particularly from the chemical industry. In short, better things for better living through chemistry.
Thank you, Dr. Stein. It has been a great pleasure to have you, Dr. Jewett, and Mr. DuPont here with us this evening. The discovery of the North Pole by Commander Robert E. Peary will be the subject of our broadcast when next week at the same time DuPont again presents the Cavalcade of America. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Enjoying the timeless classics on Golden Age Radio? If you're loving the nostalgia and captivating stories, consider supporting our channel with a tip. Your generosity helps us continue bringing you the best of vintage radio entertainment. Simply click on the link in the description.
From Hollywood, California, the Lux Radio Theater presents Gary Cooper, Fay Ray, and Walter Connolly in The Prisoner of Shark Island.
Lux presents Hollywood. To the thousands of loyal listeners who wouldn't miss a Monday night with us and who loyally purchase Lux toilet soap, our sincere thanks. Your continued patronage helps us to bring you these weekly performances. Tonight, the Lux Radio Theater welcomes to its audience here in Hollywood more than 40 of the country's leading radio editors. Our great cast this evening stars Gary Cooper, Fay Ray, Walter Connolly, John Carradine, and Ernest Whitman in The Prisoner of Shark Island. Our play is one of the most amazing chapters in American history, a story of the romance, the gripping drama, and the final pardon of a man condemned by fate to life imprisonment for a crime which authorities tell us he never committed. As special guest, you'll hear Mrs. Nettie Mudd Monroe, daughter of the man about whom this play was written. Louis Silvers conducts our orchestra. And now, here's our producer. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Cecil B. DeMille.
Greetings from Hollywood, ladies and gentlemen. While tonight's play shares the scope, the drama, and the brilliant coloring of fiction, you'll find it much more than just a thrilling tale. It's based on the life story, the suffering and ultimate triumph of a real man, an heroic physician, Dr. Samuel A. Mudd, the prisoner of Shark Island. Many years have passed since history wrote the story of our play, but the final chapter in the life of Dr. Mudd may be read to this day in the drowsing little community of Bryanstown, Maryland. There, in the venerable churchyard of St. Mary's Parish, is a simple marker on a simple grave, which reads, "Sacred to the memory of Dr. Samuel A. Mudd, died January 10th, 1883, aged 49 years." But the memory of Dr. Mudd is perpetuated beyond that humble marker. It lives on and will live on as long as men read history. Our radio adaptation of this amazing biography, screened by 20th Century Fox Studios, is heightened by the presence of one of the world's most popular actors in the title role, Gary Cooper, whose two current hits are The Adventures of Marco Polo and Bluebeard's Eighth Wife. Outstanding in tonight's cast are four other Hollywood notables. Fay Ray returns to us in the role of Peggy, and Walter Connolly plays the part of Colonel Dyer. John Carradine as Sergeant Rankin, and that splendid Negro actor, Ernest Whitman, as Buck, resume the same parts in which you saw them in the motion picture. And now, the Lux Radio Theater presents The Prisoner of Shark Island, starring Gary Cooper. On April 9th, 1865, the great armies of the North and South put aside their arms, and the war between the states was over. The nation, war-torn and weary, went suddenly mad with joy and relief. A few nights later, President Abraham Lincoln attended a performance at Ford's Theater in Washington. Quietly rocking in the flag-draped stage box, he seemed to be enjoying the play. A ripple of laughter comes from the audience, and then...
Emperor Tyrannus! President Lincoln has been shot! Lincoln's dead! Lincoln's dead! Out the army! Hang the traitors who have done! Find the assassin! Find the
assassin! I can't make it, Harold. My leg, it's broken. The bone's ramming through the skin.
But we've got to get across the Potomac. We won't be safe until we're in Virginia.
I can't do it. I can't.
Wait a moment. There's a boy coming along the road. Boy. Boy, come here.
Yes, sir?
Do you know any doctor living around here?
Doctor? Oh, yes, I knows one. Dr. Mudd, Dr. Samuel Mudd. He lives just a little piece around the bend.
Oh.
Can I help you, boss?
No. Go on about your business.
Get away.
Yes, sir.
You've got to get to that doctor. I'll help you, sir.
We'll make it. Somehow.
Sam, there's somebody at the door.
Oh, what's that?
The door.
Oh, I guess it's that stork looking for Aunt Rosabelle's cabin. I've been waiting up for him.
Well, if the stork doesn't know his way to Aunt Rosabelle's, after 12 visits, he never will learn. No, it's more likely that big lumbering husband of hers.
Buck's all right. He's the best worker I've got on this plantation. All right, I'm coming. Just a minute. Will you get my hat, Peggy?
You'd better take a coat, too. It's chilly.
Oh, are you Dr. Mudd?
Yes, I am.
This gentleman's... My friend's leg is broken. Can you do something for him?
Oh. Well, let's get him inside first. What happened?
His horse threw him.
Oh. Yeah, down on this chair. Easy. You can get my satchel in the hall. Peggy,
Yes, Sam?
get some hot water and towels, and you might bring some coffee, too. Oh. Wait a minute, friend. I'll get that boot off. Oh. I guess we'll have to cut it off. There we are. Too bad to have to split such a fine boot. Hurry, please. I've got to be going. Not on that leg. You've got a bad transverse fracture. If you're out in a week, you'll be lucky. A week? Well, you're mad.
Just fix it, Doctor, the best you can.
Well, I haven't any regular splints here, but excuse me a minute. I think I can rake up a substitute. Harold, quick. Give me that boot. And that knife on the table.
What are you going to do?
My name's on the inside. I've got to scrape it out. There. That'll do it.
This coffee's not very strong, but I hope it'll warm you up a little.
Oh, thank you.
I never thought that anybody but doctors had to be out at this hour of the night.
His mother's dying over in Virginia.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Lucky I didn't throw that cigar out yesterday. It'll make pretty fair temporary splints. Well, friend, I've got to set this leg. But I'm going to give you a stiff drink of brandy first. Peggy, will you bring the brandy in from the dining room?
Yes, Sam.
And you might as well take that boot out with you. Wait. It's no good now, friend. No, it isn't. Will you hurry, please? I've got to go. I can't stay here all night. Now, don't be impatient. I know you're in pain. Let's see that leg. Where were you? Were you coming down from Washington? No, from Baltimore. I'd certainly like to have been at the White House last Monday when old Abe asked the band to play Dixie. I guess old Abe's all right after all. Looks to me like he might be the only salvation we Southerners can look for. Him and God's mercy.
Here's the brandy, Sam.
Good. Drink it down, sir. It'll help you bear the pain.
Lean on me, sir. We'll make it all right.
This is downright foolish trying to travel on that leg. I could put you up in the spare room. No, thanks. How much do I owe you? Well, $2 will about cover it. Here you are. Wait a minute. Let me fix you up a little prescription for you. By the way, I don't think you told me your name. The name doesn't matter. But I think I ought to know. I said the name doesn't matter. Very well. Take this. It's a sedative to ease the pain. Now get it filled as soon as you can. Thank you, Doctor. You've done me a great service, and I'm sorry if I seemed abrupt or rude. That's all right. And I appreciate how patient you've been, particularly at such an hour and under such conditions. Things like that can't matter to a doctor. The door's got to be open all the time, day or night, to anyone in trouble, no matter who he is. My hand, sir. And good night. Queer sort of snake, wasn't he?
How much did he give you?
I didn't notice the bill. Let's see. Gosh, $50.
$50?
No name.
Oh.
$50 instead of $2. The whole affair's queer.
Oh, they've discovered their mistake. They've come back.
Master Sam.
Well, hello, Buck.
Master Sam, she's ready for you. Rosabelle's sure ready for you now.
The stork arriving at last, huh? All right, Buck, let's go. Goodbye, Peggy.
Goodbye, darling.
It's going to be a lucky day after all.
Open up there.
Oh, Yankees again.
Sorry, sir, but is this Dr. Mudd's home?
Yes, it is.
Where's Dr. Mudd?
He's out on a case. Who wants to know?
Lieutenant Lovett, United States Army, and this is Sergeant Henderson, my aide.
I am Dr. Mudd's father-in-law, Colonel Jeremiah Milford Dyer, 4th Virginia Cavalry, Confederate States Army, sir.
Then maybe you can help us. We're looking for 2 men who passed through this part of Maryland last night. One of them was hurt, had a bad leg, broken, perhaps. Did you see or hear anything of them?
I've seen or heard of no such men.
Were you here last night?
I live here.
And nobody came or knocked?
I've told you, sir, nobody.
Well, with your kind permission, Colonel, I'll go inside with you and wait for Dr. Mudd's return. You stay out here on the porch, Sergeant.
Yes, sir.
Hello, sir.
Howdy, little Johnny Reb. What's your name?
Martha.
Martha what?
Martha Mudd. And this is my dolly, Samantha.
Howdy, Samantha. What's that thing your dolly's in?
That's my dolly's carriage.
Well, well. That's the first time I ever saw a boot used for a doll carriage.
It's a nice one, but it's broke.
Yeah? Say, where did you get this boot?
Up behind the house. Mommy threw it out this morning. She said I could have it.
She did, eh?
Mister, where are you going?
And if you insist on waiting, that's your business. But I...
Lieutenant.
What is it, Henderson?
Lieutenant, take a look at this boot. Funny, ain't it?
Where'd you find it?
Mudd's daughter was hauling a doll around in it.
Somebody's tried to scratch out the name inside of it.
Looks that way, sir. The kid said her mother thrown it out behind the house this morning.
Good work, Henderson. I think this is all we need.
Here's my son-in-law right now.
Well, good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, nothing. Don't even speak to him. They come busting into a man's house, asking a lot of dead, bloom, fool questions.
Keep quiet, Grandpa.
Are you Dr. Mudd?
Yes.
I'd like to ask you just one question. Did a man come here last night?
Why, yes.
Who was he?
I don't know. His leg was broken.
Ever seen him before?
No.
Sergeant Henderson, go and get Mrs. Mudd.
Yes, sir.
What is the meaning of all this?
You can't even guess, I suppose.
I can't.
You'll be telling me next that you never saw this slipped boot before.
Oh, that? Why, certainly.
Sam, what does this mean? What are these soldiers doing here?
That's just what I've been trying to find out. Would you be good enough to tell us, Lieutenant?
Certainly. I'm here on duty, and it isn't a pleasant duty. Dr. Mudd, you are under arrest for conspiracy in the assassination of President Lincoln. He was murdered in Ford's Theater last night by the man you aided to escape. That man was John Wilkes Booth.
The court is now in session.
Mr. President,
The Judge Advocate General.
the death of John Wilkes Booth, who was shot down while resisting arrest in Virginia, has left us 8 members of his criminal band. So, in the name of the government of the United States, the crime of assassination and conspiracy to assassinate Abraham Lincoln is charged against the following: David E. Harold, George A. Atzerodt, Lewis Payne, Michael O'Loughlin, Edward Spangler, Samuel Arnold, Mrs. Mary E. Surratt, and Dr. Samuel A. Mudd.
Dr. Mudd was a dyed-in-the-wool slaver.
Dr. Mudd served in the Confederate Army.
Dr. Mudd denied he'd ever seen Booth.
Dr. Mudd's name was on the prescription, I feel.
When I examined Dr. Mudd in prison, he confessed to me he'd set Booth's broken leg, then aided him with directions how to reach the Potomac and Virginia.
Your wife and child are outside, Dr. Mudd.
They're going to let me see them, General Ewing?
Yes. As your counsel, I was able to arrange it, but you'll only have a few moments.
Take me to them.
Down this corridor.
Sam, darling.
Daddy.
Peggy. Martha. Don't, darling. Please.
Daddy, are you all right?
Yes, honey. I'm all right.
Oh, Doctor, I'm going to wait outside. I'll call you when the time is up.
It's good to see you both. How are you, Peggy?
I'm all right. Dad is here in Washington with us.
And the plantation?
Oh, Buck and Rosabelle are looking after things. They've been so loyal, especially Buck. He'd do anything for you, Sam.
You can count on Buck. Have you heard anything of the trial?
Only what I've read in the papers. Sam, what are they going to do to you?
I don't know.
They can't find you guilty.
They found the others guilty.
But you only did what any doctor would have done. You didn't know who Booth was. You didn't even know that President Lincoln had been assassinated.
They don't know that, Peggy. They believe the evidence, and the evidence is against me. They can't help themselves any more than I can.
Something's got to be done.
It's just like a nightmare. You can't fight. You can't run. You can't do anything. And all the time it's coming toward you, closer and closer.
Daddy! We haven't given up yet. We're not through yet.
No, not yet. And I haven't said I'm guilty yet.
I'm sorry, but you'll have to leave.
Be brave, Peggy. It's got to come out all right.
Are you coming with us, Daddy?
No, not now, honey, but it won't be long, and we'll all be back together again.
I pray for you every night.
Goodbye, Peggy.
Sam.
Witness is dismissed. Gentlemen, you have heard these witnesses. You have heard what they swore under solemn oath. The case against Dr. Mudd is ended.
The case is not ended.
I beg your pardon.
Prisoner will observe order.
Why? What more can you do to me? What threat have you got left? You believe these witnesses because they told the truth as they saw it. Well, I'm telling the truth, too. Believe the evidence against me if you must, but ask yourselves in your hearts, was I a physician in the plot because it was part of John Wilkes Booth's plan to break his leg and to need me? Does an assassin confide his plans in anyone? Gentlemen, in the sight of the holy God I worship, I am innocent.
You have heard the prisoner. The court will bring in its verdict. You have reached the verdict, gentlemen.
We have, Mr. Secretary.
What is your verdict?
Imprisonment on the Dry Tortugas for life.
You have just heard Act One of The Prisoner of Shark Island. In a moment, we will continue with Act Two of our play with Gary Cooper and an all-star cast. During this brief intermission, I want you to turn with me for a moment to something in a whimsical vein, to just a bit of springtime nonsense. I find that there is a fad here in Hollywood. Imagine it, grown-ups writing parodies on favorite Mother Goose rhymes. I thought it might be fun to round up a few of our own studio poets. So I'll introduce to you now a young lady from our script department. Step up to the microphone, please, Miss Bennett. Now, which one of the nursery rhymes have you parodied?
Mistress Mary, quite contrary.
All right, let's hear it.
Mistress Mary, quite contrary. What makes your skin so sweet? I use Lux soap for beauty bath. I'm dainty from head to feet.
Thank you, Miss Bennett. That was very nice. Now for our Mother Goose of the reception department. What's your name, and what will your deathless words be about?
Well, my name is Helen Crow. My verse is about Bo Peep.
All right, give it to the world.
Little Bo Peep fell fast asleep and dreamed of a bad complexion. But when the day dawned, she sat up and yawned. Lux toilet soap is my protection.
Now, our next poet is a charming young lady who plays bit parts. Here she is, Miss Ransom.
Well, Mr. Ruick, I've got to tell you something. You're going to think I came here under false pretenses. I haven't got a poem.
You mean you came unprepared? You haven't got a poem?
Yes, I'm afraid that's it. But I have got a riddle.
A riddle? A riddle? Well, let's have it.
The riddle is, what is it that's just like a poem, only there are no words to it?
What is it that's just like a poem, but there are no words to it? I guess you'll have to tell us.
Well, the answer is when it's a captivating, devastating, enchanting Lux toilet soap complexion.
By Jove, you're right. A lovely complexion is like a poem. And with Lux toilet soap, it's easy to guard that complexion of yours. Truly, a beautiful skin does make men think of fresh spring blossoms. Lux toilet soap is the care 9 out of 10 famous screen stars use to guard their priceless complexions. Use it before you renew makeup, always before you go to bed at night. Let Lux toilet soap's active lather guard your complexion. Now, Mr. DeMille.
Gary Cooper, Fay Ray, and Walter Connolly continue in The Prisoner of Shark Island with John Carradine and Ernest Whitman. Dr. Mudd was sentenced to imprisonment for life on the Dry Tortugas. At Garden Key in the Gulf of Mexico, a federal prison ship has just discharged its motley cargo. In the white heat of the noonday sun, they march over the bridge and into the receiving yard of the prison. Corporal O'Toole, in charge of the detail, brings them to a halt and reports to Sergeant Rankin.
200 from Washington Prison, Sergeant. Hardens, too.
Got the commitment papers?
Yes, sir.
Let's have them. They all checked in?
Yes, sir.
Samuel A. Mudd.
Step forward, Mudd.
Are you Samuel Mudd?
Yes.
Dr. Samuel A. Mudd. Dr. Mudd, I've been waiting for you. So all they gave you was life, huh? Well, maybe this will make it a little harder. So they couldn't hang you, eh? Well, by Judas, you're going to wish they had before I'm through with you. Get up. Get up! Take a good look at him, the rest of you filthy hounds. Take a good look at one of the men who killed Abe Lincoln, the greatest man who ever lived. Look at him. Watch him get what's coming to him. That's all for you right now, Mudd. Get back into line. Now, you rats. Before we go any further here, I want you to listen to me. Because I know exactly what every mother's son of you is thinking. You're figuring on whether you're going to be able to break out of here. Well, we got a little way here of putting thoughts like that out of your head. Follow me. Well, whenever you scum get to figuring on breaking out of here, I just want you to give a little thought to this moat you're looking at. You all see it? Speak up. Speak up! You can see it all right, can't you, Dr. Mudd?
Yeah.
All right. It runs all the way around the island. It's 75 feet wide and 35 feet deep. You know what we keep in it? We keep pets in it. Nice little pets. O'Toole, throw a hunk of meat in the water.
Yes, sir.
Now watch. Close. See those black fins? Know what they are? Sharks. You don't see the meat anymore, do you? Well, that gives you a little idea of what would happen to any of you if you tried to swim that moat. How do you like that, Dr. Mudd? Soldier?
Yes, sir.
Take Dr. Mudd over to the Sawbones for a physical examination. We'll check him in first because Dr. Mudd is going to be our favorite here.
Yes, sir. This way.
All right. That's all, Mudd. Put your shirt back on.
Thank you. Dr. McIntyre, I'm also a physician.
I know you are.
I simply thought that, as another physician, you would understand the evidence against me. The obligations of a doctor to give aid to anyone in pain and need, whoever he might be.
Mr. Mudd, if you assumed you might find sympathy here, get rid of the idea. The profession you have dishonored is ashamed of you, ashamed of your membership in it. As a doctor, I may inform you that I despise you even more than the rest of the world.
It would be of no use for me to swear to you, on the honor of the profession we both love and respect, that I had no part whatsoever in the death of Mr. Lincoln.
It would be of no use whatever.
I see. Very well, Doctor.
Master Sam.
Who's that?
It's me, Master Sam. It's Buck.
Buck, what are you doing here?
I was soldiering down here, Master Sam.
When did you get here?
I've been here a month waiting for you, sir. They say they need big husky-colored boys for soldiers, and they took me right off.
But why? Why did you do it?
Miss Mudd, she said, get down on that island, Buck. Get down there and look after Master Sam. So here I is, sir.
Buck, my wife, Martha, how are they?
Oh, they's all right, Master Sam. Roosevelt and the Colonel are taking care of them.
God bless you, Buck. You've given me the first gleam of hope I've had since this nightmare started.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Buck, what's up? Does Mrs. Mudd think she can get me out of here?
I don't know, Master Sam. Miss Mudd and the Colonel are fixing to do something. They wanted me down here. They're going to write to me when they're ready, and I'll give you the letter. It's all in Washington now. There goes Taps, Master Sam. And I gotta go. But don't you worry. Me and the good Lord and Miss Mudd and the Colonel going to get you out of here, sure.
Who is it?
It's me, Peggy.
Oh, Father.
I've finally persuaded General Ewing to pay our Washington home a little visit.
How do you do, General?
My pleasure, madam.
General Ewing, this is Judge Maven of the District Superior Court.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance, Judge Maben.
The judge is a Yankee, but honorable.
Thank you, Colonel.
The judge is going to get Sam out of jail, General.
Now, just a moment, Colonel. You're taking too much for granted.
You have some kind of a plan, Judge Maben?
Well, the plan is Mrs. Mudd's. No judge would dare devise anything so extreme.
General, I explained to Judge Maven what happened to the writ of habeas corpus you obtained for Sam.
Well, of course, you understand Dr. Mudd is in a military prison. The writ was useless.
But if a writ were served on him in, say, Key West, a civil municipality, it would be honored, wouldn't it?
Of course, but Dr. Mudd is not in Key West.
No, I know he isn't yet. But suppose, just suppose, that we could get him there.
Great Scott, Mrs. Mudd, you surely wouldn't dare to
I'd dare
do so.
anything for my husband. And it's not only freedom I want for him. It's exoneration, too. He's innocent. And they've got to say so to the entire world.
Just a moment, Mrs. Mudd. General Ewing, all I have to say is this. If Dr. Mudd should be able to deliver himself to the civil authorities in Key West, I could have a writ of habeas corpus there to be served on him. Under its protection, he could then be brought back here.
Yes.
I would reopen the case and, with certain new evidence, prove his innocence beyond a doubt. But as to how Dr. Mudd is going to be able to get to Key West, I'd rather not hear. Now I must bid you all good day. Good luck, Mrs. Mudd. And I won't be the only Yankee praying with you.
Oh, thank you, Judge. Oh, we'll sell everything, pawn everything, mortgage everything. We'll get enough money.
Mrs. Mudd.
You understand what this means to me, don't you, General Ewing? It's all that's left of our lives. Sam's and Martha's and mine.
General, you can leave the escape entirely to me. Within 24 hours, I'll have 5,000 of my whole brigade under my command. We'll seize a war vessel or two, blow the whole prison to dust again, and deliver Sam to Key West with a guard of honor.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Mudd, but if you're set on such a foolhardy plan, I must withdraw from the case.
But we've got to do it. He's got to be free, to be tried again. It's the only way, don't you see?
Yes, but I'm sorry, but I cannot sanction such a plan. I can only believe that you're not serious, that you're simply overwrought.
Egad, sir.
Never mind, Dad.
Mrs. Mudd, if you'll take my advice, you'll abandon this mad scheme. Goodbye to you both.
Dad, what do you think?
Egad, sugar, we'll show 'em. I'm sick and tired of this fiddling around. I'm a man of action again. We'll get Sam out of that prison, and we'll raise enough money to do it. This sword here on the wall. Stonewall Jackson gave me this blade. Pure Toledo. This will be the starter to raise money to hire a ship. And if I don't get $150 for it, I'll have the pleasure of splitting the heart of the swine who dares to offer me less.
Master Sam.
Yes, Buck.
I got a letter for you. And a piece of soap with a key to your cell in it.
Give me the letter. Quick.
Yes, sir. Here it is. Can you see enough to read it?
Yes, Buck. It's from my wife.
Yes, sir. I thought it was.
Listen. We are now in Key West, and everything is ready. If you can only get there. The boat we have hired will be anchored off the island. You will know it by its black sails and 2 riding lights at night.
Master Sam, I see that boat today. She got black sails and she's anchored about half a mile out.
Are you sure, Buck?
Yes, sir.
All right, Buck. I'm ready to go.
Tonight?
Tonight.
But how about the moat?
I'll have to try the bridge.
Well, there's got a guard on it, Master Sam.
Yes.
If I could go with you...
Yes.
I can arrange to be the guard that's on the bridge.
That's it, Buck. You arrange to be on the bridge and we'll go together. Now, listen carefully.
O'Toole. Corporal O'Toole.
Who is it?
Sergeant Rankin, get up.
Yes, sir. Anything wrong, Sergeant?
Do you know what post that boy Buck is on?
Yes, sir, the bridge. He swapped it with another fellow.
I thought so. I saw him around Mud's cell early in the evening. Take a detail out and relieve him, then place him under arrest and bring him here.
What's up?
Our star boarder's out of his cell.
Mud?
Yes. Post extra guards at the bridge. Notify all sentries. We'll see if we can't give this Judas what the court-martial should have given him. Go on.
Yes, sir. Halt!
It's Dr. Mudd, Buck.
Halt down there. Halt or I'll shoot. Halt!
You get him, sentry?
No, there he is on that ledge on the wall, just above the moat.
Hurry, Judas! He must have over the moat. Find the bridge, man! Hurry up!
There he is, down in the water.
What's the matter, you fools? Can't you hit him?
He's swimming underwater.
Keep shooting just the same. He'll never make it. If we don't get him, the sharks will.
What sharks?
Why, what sharks do you think, Dr. McIntyre?
That barrage of bullets on the water, you're lucky if you've got a shark left in 100 yards of that stuff.
Huh? You scum and let him escape.
There's the sharks. They're coming back.
Don't fire, I tell you. Just leave him to the fish. They'll get him.
I don't see him.
Look, out yonder. There he is.
Where?
He's outside the moat, swimming out to sea.
Why, Judas, he must have gotten through the drain pipe from the seawall.
There's a schooner out there with 2 riding lights putting in toward him. They're going to pick him up.
I'll fix that. O'Toole.
Yes, Sergeant.
Detail men for 3 8-odd cutters and get them launched on the double.
Yes, sir.
I want that man back. And I want him back alive, understand? Alive.
Man, 2 points off the starboard bow.
It's Sam. Steady. Steady now. Grab him. Easy. There we are.
Colonel. Dad.
It's all right, son. You're safe now, Egad. Just put your arm over my shoulder and we'll go down into the cabin. Captain.
Aye, sir.
Head her back to Key West. Here he is, Peggy.
Sam. Oh, Sam, my darling.
Peggy.
Oh,
I was afraid I couldn't make it.
oh, Sam, you're wounded.
Lie down here on this bunk, son.
It's nothing. A bullet nicked my arm.
It's all arranged, darling. Everything. You're going to have a new trial. You will be freed. And you're going to see Martha.
Where is she?
In Key West. She's waiting for you, darling.
She hasn't forgotten me.
Oh, no. Not for 1 minute. What was that?
It couldn't be from the fort.
Egad, if it's the dead blamed Yankees, I'll show 'em a thing or two. I'm going on deck. You stay here with Sam, Peggy.
Yes.
Stand by to report orders.
They can't take you back. They can't.
They must have sent boats out after me.
But how could a boat catch this schooner? We have sails.
The fort has cutters. They can travel.
Oh, but we've got to get away. We've got to. Safety and freedom are so near.
You can't.
They'll never take me back to that hellhole alive.
Oh, Sam.
The firing stopped. What's happened out there?
Oh, dear God, help us. Help us.
Well, now, ain't that a touching little scene? Hiya, Judas.
Rankin.
Very flattering, Dr. Mudd. I didn't think you'd remember me being away so long. Who's that old man out there on deck?
He's my father. You can't do anything to him.
Not anymore, ma'am. He's dead.
No. No!
Yeah, and where Dr. Mudd's going now, he'll wish he was dead, too.
Pause for station identification. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
We've completed the second act of The Prisoner of Shark Island. In this intermission, before Gary Cooper and our all-star cast return in Act 3, a remarkable privilege is ours. The tragic circumstances which gave us the story of tonight's play seem to belong to a dim and distant past. This is a new world, and for our reflections on the 1860s, we're accustomed to rely upon ancient records and books of history. Yet tonight, a human link binds us to the time and to the hero of our play. For with us in the Lux Radio Theater is the daughter of the prisoner of Shark Island. She is Mrs. Nettie Mudd Monroe of Baltimore, Maryland. Better than any other person, she can tell us of that noble American who was her father. I'm honored to introduce the daughter of Dr. Samuel A. Mudd, who speaks to us from New York City, Mrs. Nettie Mudd Monroe.
Thank you, Mr. DeMille. I wish to extend to the Lux Radio Theater both my gratitude and congratulations for devoting this splendid hour to my father's memory. I am amazed by your play, for with most exceptions, The Prisoner of Shark Island is proving to be a most accurate portrayal. In my possession are many letters which my father wrote to my mother from Fort Jefferson. They tell of how, upon his arrival there in 1865, he served for a time on the wharf, carrying the bricks. There is one letter I want to read to you that tells better than all others what my father was like. He says, I endure the severest privations, for the most part patiently, and can stand anything, my dear wife, but the thought of your dependent position, your ills and privations. This thought undoubtedly drove him to attempt his escape. He hoped to reach some spot where he could surrender and get a civil trial. He was certain that a civil court would prove his innocence. But, as the play points out, he was caught, chained hand and put in a dungeon. My father had magnificent courage. He survived not only the ordeal of imprisonment, but the ordeal of being freed. As far as I know, my father never referred to his 4 years on the dry Tortugas, and my mother, too, was always silent on this subject. The world will never know what she felt. All of these details, I suppose, are best forgotten. For after all, justice did triumph. Furthermore, my father felt no malice. For if he had, the events that you will hear in the next act of your play could never have come to pass. Father's unfortunate life, strangely enough, taught me a very beautiful lesson. It made me realize that out of great suffering can come something glorious. Through injustice, the world becomes more just. Through cruelty, the world gains kindness. Through inhumanity, we find mercy. Thank you, Mr. DeMille, for asking me to be a guest tonight in your Lux Radio Theater.
We're back now in Hollywood and send to you, Mrs. Monroe, our sincere gratitude. In a moment, Mr. DeMille raises the curtain on the third act of our play. But first, I would like to remind you that Lux Toilet Soap not only safeguards the complexions of the lovely screen stars and guards against unattractive skin, but that it makes a grand beauty bath as well. Lux Toilet Soap's active lather frees the pores of perspiration, every trace of dust and dirt. It's a grand way to protect daintiness. Now, our producer.
We continue with The Prisoner of Shark Island, starring Gary Cooper with Fay Ray, Walter Connolly, John Carradine, and Ernest Whitman. Four days have passed since Dr. Mudd was captured, taken from the ship and thrown into a dank and dreadful hole far below sea level. Buck has been imprisoned with him. On the floor of their cell, they lie exhausted.
Master Sam.
Yes.
How long's it been, Master Sam?
3 days, I think. Maybe 4, 5.
Master Sam, can you give me a little more of that water, sir?
Makes you feel better, doesn't it?
It cools me off, son. I sure can use some cooling, Master Sam. I was burning up. Ain't even heard no bugles. Ain't seen nobody, no food, no nothing. Seems like everybody just gone off and left us. Reckon it'd do any good to holler again?
I'll holler till I'm hoarse.
What you suppose happened?
I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe they've gone and left us to die. It doesn't matter, does it?
No, sir. I reckon not. Feel to me like I'm going to die anyhow.
Listen. There's somebody coming.
Hello? Coming this way. Yeah, we is, Sheriff.
Mudd. Dr. Mudd. It's Major Stone.
Major Stone, the commandant.
What he want here?
Are you all right, Mudd?
Well, we're alive. My colored boy here is pretty sick. Why didn't you send someone?
Doctor, I'm here on a curious mission. I want your help.
My help?
Yes, I need it desperately. Doctor, this island is a pest hole. It's steaming with yellow fever.
Yellow fever?
The worst epidemic we've ever had. I've got 3,000 men here, soldiers and prisoners. And those that aren't dead or dying are crazy with terror. There's a supply boat lying off the island, but they're afraid to put in. Afraid of the fever.
And what's this to do with me?
That's what you must decide for yourself. All that I can do is to tell you that I'm helpless. There's 1,000 yellowjack cases jammed in that cheese box of a hospital, and as good as dead already if I can't get a man to do something for them.
And what about the good Dr. McIntyre?
The good Dr. McIntyre is dead.
That's unfortunate. Even the just die.
I know what you're thinking, Mudd. And you're quite right. Everything you are thinking is true. And still, in spite of that, in spite of the fact that I can't even promise you a reward, that I can offer you nothing but exposure to death and possibly a better cell if you live, in spite of it all, I ask you, will you help me?
One night, a long time ago, Major, I was a doctor. And I'm still a doctor.
Come in?
Dr. Mudd, sir.
Come in, Doctor. How's it going?
Badly, sir. When the soldiers heard about Dr. McIntyre dying, they all quit.
Where are they now?
They're in the mess hall, barricaded. Guards and all.
But we've got to get somebody to help. The patients are all alone, deserted.
Have I any authority?
You give the orders, and I'll take the responsibility.
Then you wait here.
Where are you going?
To the mess hall. You come with me, orderly. You aren't afraid, orderly?
Doctor, I'm scared out of my pants.
That's all right. So am I.
Look, Doctor, they've got a guard posted in the window there with a rifle.
Don't you come no closer, white man.
Keep going, orderly. Don't stop. Steady.
Stay where you is, or I'll shoot again.
Put that gun down. Put it down, I said.
Better put it down, Zach. That ain't no Yankee talking. Well, ain't gonna come out from nobody.
I'm not going to ask you to come out, but you're going to listen to me. I'm just going to tell you what you're going to get if you don't come out. You're going to get hanged, all of you. You're soldiers, and you've deserted your posts, you've shot at your officers, and you can't get away.
I just don't want to get away. Well, stay right here.
You bet you are. And here's what they're going to do to you. They're going to take you before the judge, the white judge. They're going to try you, and they're going to find you guilty. Then they're going to take you out in the courtyard and build a scaffold. And you're going to have to build it yourselves, your own scaffold. And when you've got that done, you're going to do some digging. You're going to dig your own grave.
He oughtn't talk like that. That ain't no Yankee just talking to hear himself talk. That's a Southern man. He means it.
Then the law's going to hang you. They're going to put ropes around your necks and choke you until you're dead. Dead! But for those who want to live, that want to be saved, I've got a proposition. I need help outside. Water boys, workers, boys who will do what I say. Any of you boys who are willing to do that, I promise to save from hanging. Well, what do you say?
I don't know what the rest of them say, white boys, but here I is.
Good. I'll give the rest of you 1 minute to make up your minds. Are any more of you coming out?
Yes, sir. I don't want to dig no grave.
All right.
Here we is.
Now, part of you men begin tearing out the windows of the hospital building, sash and all. I'm going to get fresh air and sunlight in there. You others get to soak the blankets piled over there. I'm going to wrap the sick men up and keep them wet until I wash out some of this fever. Now, go on. Everybody, get to work.
Well, how do things look, Doctor?
All right, I guess. No new cases today. Temperatures are down.
No deaths?
No. But wait till tomorrow. And the next day. And the next.
What do you mean?
How long do you think these supplies are going to last? Where's the medicine coming from? 2 days from now. Out of the air?
Steady, Mud.
And how long do you think I'm going to last? I'm human, too.
You've got to get some sleep, Doctor. You've had 5 days of this, and you're exhausted.
And right out yonder, not a quarter of a mile away, there's a ship full of supplies and a half a dozen doctors. And the whole United States government can't make that boat come in and help us.
Mud, will you let me put you to bed?
No. I'll go myself. I'm tired.
You've got to take care of yourself. We need you.
All right. I'm sorry.
Get a good rest, and I'll look in on you in the morning.
Orderly, orderly. Get up, orderly.
What is it, sir?
Get up and come with me.
But sir,
Do what I say and don't make any noise.
Doctor, you're sick.
Yes, I'm sick. Yellow Jack. I'm the doctor, but I've got the fever. You didn't know doctors could get yellow fever, did you? Come on. Only doctor in the world got 1,000 cases. Only doctor in the world got to look after 1,000 cases without medicine.
Doctor, would you tell me where we're going?
Yeah, here's where we're going first. There's a signalman still on duty, isn't there?
Yes, sir. He's over there by the gun emplacement.
That's just fine. Gonna need his signal lights. And maybe the cannon.
What are you going to do, sir?
You don't need to worry about that. Signalman.
Yes, sir.
You in communication with that supply ship out there?
Yes, sir.
Is it coming in?
No, sir. The captain says it's impossible. Too dangerous in this storm.
All right. Signal him to come in. Tell him if he doesn't, I'm going to fire on him.
Excuse me, sir, but that's a government ship. I can't signal such a message.
You see this gun I got in my hand?
Well, yes, sir.
You signal that ship what I told you, you'll never signal again. Tell the captain I say come in.
Yes, sir. I'll tell him.
You boys over there, load that cannon.
Yes, sir. Load it up, boys.
You a good marksman?
Yes, sir.
You'd better be. I want the first ball dropped just close. Let's see how close you can come without hitting the ship.
Oh, he'll be close, sir.
What does the captain of the ship say, signalman?
He says he won't come in, sir.
Give him one. Close. Fire!
They're putting out to sea, sir.
They are, huh? Hit him this time.
You can't do that, Doctor.
You fool. I've got to get that medicine. I've got to get those doctors. I've got the yellow jack, too, like everybody else. I'm sick. Someone's got to look out for things. We need help. Give it to him. I tell you, fire.
That one hit the mast. He's turning. He's coming into the wharf.
But, Doctor, what are you doing?
Compliments. Major, I've just got somebody to take over my job.
Catch him. Well, how's our patient this morning, Mud? Still all right?
Looks like I'm going to live.
That other doctor said Master Sam be up and around in 3 days, Major.
3 days. Well, that'll give you time enough to get a cell ready for me, Rankin.
Dr. Mudd.
Wait, Rankin. Dr. Mudd, I have a paper here I'm preparing to send to Washington by special messenger today. I'm in no position, of course, to speak for our government, yours and mine. But because I love the flag I serve, and because I'm jealous of its honor, I'd like to read this letter to you.
Please, sir.
This is to the President of the United States. As Commandant of the military prison at Fort Jefferson, Florida, I can testify that the final checking of the recent yellow fever epidemic was the direct result of extraordinary and unselfish courage, bravery, and skill on the part of Dr. Samuel A. Mudd. On behalf of the personnel of the post, including officers, enlisted men, civilians, and prisoners, I take this means of urging executive clemency for Dr. Mudd as a reward for heroism far above and beyond the demands of duty. I wrote that this morning, and every man on this island will be glad to sign it. I promise you.
Major Stone.
Yes, Rankin?
If it's all right with Dr. Mudd here, I'd like to be the first to sign it.
Thank you, Sergeant. Thank you. Freedom. A chance to prove my innocence. And I will prove it.
Mama, is he coming home today, Mama? Is Daddy coming home?
Yes, dear. He sure is, honey. And the President of the whole United States is sending him home just special for you.
But where is he, Mama? Why doesn't he come?
Oh, he'll be here, darling, very soon. And when he comes, he may not look like he did when you saw him last. But don't say so, dear. Just kiss him. Kiss his cheeks and his eyes and his hand and...
Listen, there he is. He coming now, Miss Moore. He coming right now. Welcome home, Martha.
Daddy!
My baby. Peggy.
Oh, Sam. Sam, darling.
Dear God, I'm home.
So ends The Prisoner of Shark Island. And now our stars return for a brief chat with us. Some years ago, in casting the male lead for the winning of Barbara Worth, Samuel Goldwyn gambled on an ex-cowboy, Gary Cooper, to whom he paid $50 a week. Today, the ex-cowboy is Mr. Goldwyn's biggest star, and he's back at our microphone now with Fay Ray and Walter Connolly. And incidentally, Gary, let me register my congratulations a few days early and wish you a happy birthday.
Thanks, CB. It's just about 2 years, isn't it, since you and I began work on The Plainsman. How's your new picture coming along, Union Pacific?
We're still in the writing stages, Gary. In Union Pacific, we're telling the story of the first transcontinental railroad and the town called Hell on Wheels, which followed its progress. As the railroad moved on, the town moved with it. The houses, bars, and even the storefronts were collapsible so that they could be folded up and transported from one stopping place to the next.
Yes. I know it had no laws and no government because it never stayed long enough in one place to be anything more than a roaring, lawless community.
Yeah, but on each spot on the prairie where it sank its teeth for a time, a great American city stands today. And it's a coincidence, Gary, that Union Pacific also has a birthday in a few days. The Iron Horse found the end of the trail on May 10th, 1869.
That was just a few weeks after Dr. Mudd was released from Fort Jefferson.
Well, not to change the subject, but it just dawned on me that Hollywood is indebted to the mosquito for 3 great stories. Without the mosquito, there would not have been yellow fever. And without yellow fever, the probabilities are that neither The Prisoner of Shark Island or Jezebel or MGM's new one, Yellow Jack, would ever have been made.
But they didn't know until 1900 that yellow fever was caused by a mosquito.
Yes, for one thing, they thought it was a malarial poisoning caused from the water standing in the moat surrounding the prison.
You know, they also had a dread of wet woolen clothing, believing that it, too, brought on the fever. I understand that Dr. Mudd saved several patients when he ordered a wall broken down to increase ventilation. He thought that the wind drove the fever away. What really happened was that the wind drove the mosquitoes away. And, may I say something else, Mr. DeMille?
Certainly, Fay.
Well, I'd like to send my thanks through you to the people in back of this program, not only for the grand entertainment it affords, but for Lux Toilet Soap itself. In my opinion, any girl who uses Lux Soap is showing good common sense. That is, if she values a lovely, smooth complexion. I'm happy to tell you I've used it for a long time, and I intend to go on using it.
Consider your thanks delivered, Fay. And it's good to hear you say that.
You can put my P.S. on that, C.B. Thank them, too, for giving Miss Ray, Mr. Conley, and our fine supporting cast and me the opportunity of telling the story of this courageous American to the Lux Radio Theater's vast audience. Good night, C.B.
Good night, Gary.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, Fay. Good night, Walter.
Great news of next week's program comes in just a moment from Mr. DeMille. Assisting our stars tonight were Joan Carroll as Martha Mudd, Francis MacDonald as John Wilkes Booth, Ted Osborne as David E. Herold, Albert Van Decker as Sergeant Henderson, John Deering as Lieutenant Lovett, Victor Rodman as General Ewing, Lee Millar as Dr. McIntyre, Frank Shannon as Judge Advocate General Holt, Lou Merrill as Judge Mabin, Earl Gunn as Major Stone, Warren McCullum as Orderly, Frank Nelson as Prosecutor Hunter, Cracker Henderson as Druggist, Libby Taylor as Rosabelle, Jester Hairston as Corporal, Clarence Hargrave as Field Boy, and Jack Carr as Sentry. Walter Connolly appeared through courtesy of Columbia Studios. His new film is Penitentiary. Appearing through courtesy of 20th Century Fox Studios were John Carradine, Joan Carroll, and Louis Silvers, who directed music for their new picture, Kentucky Moonshine. Now, our producer.
Hollywood has produced any number of comedy romances, but few have been applauded the world over with such laughter and enthusiasm as the play we bring you next Monday night, the celebrated hit, My Man Godfrey. And we bring you not only the play, ladies and gentlemen, but the same 4 stars whom you saw in the picture. Making her debut in the Lux Radio Theater, Miss Carol Lombard. Co-starred with Miss Lombard, Mr. William Powell. And in addition, Gail Patrick and Misha Auer. Here's an array of talent and a comedy which together promise a great event in radio entertainment. Our sponsors, the makers of Lux Toilet Soap, join me in inviting you to be with us again next Monday night when the Lux Radio Theater presents William Powell and Carol Lombard in My Man Godfrey with Gail Patrick and Misha Auer. This is Cecil B. DeMille saying good night to you from Hollywood.
The announcer has been Melville Ruick. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Lost in Brazil invites you on an unforgettable journey where every moment is an adventure waiting to be discovered. Join us as we uncover the soul of Brazil, one incredible experience at a time. Click on the link in the description and embark on the ultimate Brazilian opera.
Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is foot. F-O-O-T.
Really?
You bet your life. It's Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life. the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood and brought to you with more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers. The dealers who bring you America's most talked about new car, the distinguished 1953 DeSoto and the exciting new Plymouth. See them both at your DeSoto Plymouth dealers. And now, here he is, the one, the only...
Just a faded summer love. Oh, that's me. Well, here I am again with $1,000 for one of our couples.
We have a young married couple for you, Groucho. So will Hilda...
Not for me.
Yes, Hilda
They're
and...
for each other, Fenneman.
Hilda and William Bittles, would you please come in and meet Groucho Marx?
Welcome for the DeSoto Plymouth dealer. Say the secret word, and the wife will take home the $100. It's a common word, something you always have with you. Pretty cute-looking dish here, eh? Let's see, Hilda and William Bittles, eh? Bittles, what kind of a name is Bittles?
Sir, it is a pure Irish name.
Pure Irish? Well, what is pure Irish? I know what pure Scotch is. I don't know what pure... Where in Ireland are you from?
Donegal, County Donegal.
County Donegal.
That is right.
Now, Mrs. Bittles, that's you, huh?
Yes.
And you're married to Pat O'Brien here, huh?
William Bittles, Mr. Marx.
Sure, it is the luck of the Irish. Yes, and sure, and it is. Let's see, your first name is Hilda?
Yes.
Oh. What part of Sweden are you from, Hilda?
Well, I'm not from Sweden. I was born in Jacksonville, Florida, but I claim Georgia as my home.
I see. How long have you been married, Bill?
4 years.
Mm-hmm. You look like you're pretty happy about it, are you?
Oh, just happy I am. I have to keep pinching myself.
Why do they say everything backwards over there? Sure, just happy I am.
I have to pinch myself once in a while just to remind myself that I really am married and in America.
Well, if you have to pinch yourself, it can't be much of a marriage, eh? Hilda, could you tell us how you met County Donegal here?
Yes, I was working for the Red Cross in Fullerton, and one day a girlfriend telephoned and asked if I would date this young man who had just arrived in the United States from Ireland. He had been here 3 months. He was living in the YMCA, and he hadn't had a date since his arrival.
It's hard to get one in the YMCA. You didn't try the YWCA at all, right? You were in the Red Cross?
Yes.
And did you always answer these emergency calls like this?
Oh, yes, Mr. Marx.
Uh-huh. I mean, how did they know that you wanted to go out with a young man? Was there something about...
I was single, and he was single, and I enjoyed going out, and he was certainly looking forward to it.
And your girlfriend phoned you?
Yes, she did.
What did they have an alarm in the office or something, like in a firehouse? New fella just got in?
No.
Well, Bill, I'm curious. Why did you leave Ireland in the first place?
Well, I had... It's a long...
What should I say? Why in the first place did you be after leaving Ireland?
Okay, I will be to tell you now. I had the good fortune to be attached to an American unit in North Africa during the war. I have been in the British Army, and I was picked with 2 other young officers to be attached to this unit. Anyhow, I saw how the Americans lived, how they ate and behaved. They were getting about 4 times the pay I was getting, and they had 4 pairs of shoes to my 1 pair of boots, and they got fresh underclothes as many times as they wanted all day. So I said, if I ever got out of this mess alive, I would go to the United States of America and make my home there. If a country did so much for its fighting men, who weren't doing any more than stopping bullets like we were, that it must be a wonderful country worthy of living in.
I see. So, in other words... In other words, you actually came to America to get a clean suit of underwear, is that it? What are some of the differences you find between living in Ireland and living in California?
Well, the weather, of course, is the big feature. The food, all this wonderful food here, there are no rations or anything. You can have as much as you want, as many times as you want.
The food is different here. In this country, you can get excellent Irish food, you know, in any French restaurant. What's the most unusual dish you've come across in this country, in addition to Hilda?
Well, I would say corn on the cob was the biggest surprise to me.
It was, huh?
I'd never seen corn on the cob before. They don't
they
have
smoke
that
them
now.
over there?
No, I had never seen it before. So when I got out here, I
Did you smoke a corncob pipe in Ireland, didn't you?
No.
MacArthur does, huh? You smoke a clay pipe over there.
A clay pipe, yeah,
That's what they... I once asked an Irishman, I says, why do you smoke a clay pipe? He says, well, if you drop it, you don't have to pick it up. What sort of work are you doing here in America?
I happen to be an instrument engineer for the Fluor Corporation here in Los Angeles.
What is it? Fluoroscopes?
No, they are engineers and designers of refineries and pulsation dampeners and cooling towers, etc.
I see, yeah. Well, there's no use going any further, but I don't understand what you're talking about anyway. Well, let's quit this foreign gab and see if you can win some money here. Because it's time to play You Bet Your Life. All you have to do is run your $20 and more than our other couples, and you'll get a chance at the big money. Let's see how high I can bet you $20. You selected complete the name of the firm. I'll give you one of the names of nationally known business firms, and you give me the other. Here's your first question. Now, how much will you bet?
Shall we bet it all?
Well, I've been adventurous in America up to now. I'll take a chance on you all.
How much? $20 you bet?
$20.
All right. This firm publishes dictionaries. The first name is Funk. What is the second name?
Funk and Wagno.
That's right, Funk and Wagner.
Off to a good start. You have $40.
All right, how much of your $40 will you bet on your second question?
Would you like to bet it all?
Yes.
We would like to bet it all.
All right. This firm is noted for their fine sporting goods. The first name is Abercrombie. What is the second?
And Fitch.
One answer now between you. Abercrombie and...
I think it's Fitch.
Abercrombie and Fitch.
That's right.
Oh.
You now have $80.
I was thinking of Fairchild.
You better give us some Irish friends.
All right, here's your third question. You have 80 smackers. Now, how much are you going to risk?
Yes, all right.
$80 you're going to bet. This firm is known for their surgical supplies. The first name is Johnson. What is the second?
Surgical supplies.
Yes.
Yep. Band-Aids, all kinds of things.
What is it, honey?
I don't know.
First name is Johnson. Take a guess now.
Johnson and Vic.
No. It's so easy to. It's Johnson and Johnson.
Oh,
no.
Well, they lost all their money, Groucho.
Well, we can't allow anybody to leave here flat broke. I'll give you one more question. Get this right, and we bring your winnings up to $25. We all know that Mount Everest is the highest mountain in the world. Now, I want you to tell me what is the lowest mountain in the world.
Lowest mountain?
The lowest mountain.
There's no low mountain.
Yes, it is. It's Grant's Tomb. You win $25. Sorry you didn't win more, huh? Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Now, before we continue, here's something I want you to hear about the beautiful new DeSoto.
No matter what you're looking for, you'll find it in the distinguished new DeSoto. This new DeSoto is a really beautiful car with long, low, wide, glamorous lines. What's more, in the DeSoto, you can drive without shifting, thanks to DeSoto's famous tip-toe hydraulic shift with fluid drive. In a DeSoto, you simply turn the key, step on the gas, and go. Just as important, DeSoto is a safer car with such important features as DeSoto full-time power steering, the power steering that works for you all the time, DeSoto safety rim wheels, and big, sure DeSoto power brakes, the brakes that require just half the pedal pressure of ordinary brakes. You'll find that the DeSoto is a better driving car, cushioned and protected by remarkable DeSoto Oriflow shock absorbers and new scientific spring suspension, and powered by the world's most efficient engine design, the mighty 160 horsepower DeSoto Fire Dome V8 engine. So stop in at your DeSoto Plymouth dealers tomorrow. See this stunning new car, either the mighty 160 horsepower DeSoto Fire Dome 8 or the brilliantly responsive Power Master 6. Both great cars let you drive without shifting.
Make a date now to try the world's finest carbide. The distinguished new DeSoto.
And remember, the dealers who sell the distinguished new DeSoto also sell the truly balanced 53 Plymouth, the low-priced car most like high-priced cars.
Okay, George, who is next?
Well, Groucho, we have a grandfather and a young mother for you now, and here they are, Mrs. Betty Finney and Mr. Jack Martin. Please come in and meet Groucho Marx.
Well, howdy doody. Welcome, youngsters, to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you always have with you. Mrs. Betty Finney. Mrs. Finney, I'll start with you. Where are you from, Betty? I'll call you Betty, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm from Tacoma,
You
Washington.
don't object to this familiarity?
No, not at all.
You're from where?
Tacoma, Washington.
Tacoma, huh? You mind if I ask your age? You don't look old enough to mind. How old are you?
No, I'm 28.
28. Well, you're a fine-looking gal. You're married, huh?
Yes.
No. The whole thing goes out the window. What sort of work does your husband do?
He's an appliance salesman at Cliff Swanson's in Studio City.
He's an appliance salesman?
Mm-hmm. Household appliances.
Oh, I see. Huh? Mr. Martin, how old are you?
65.
65. Well, you're a fine-looking lad. You certainly don't look 65. How do you keep looking so vigorous?
I don't drink and I don't smoke, and I never worry, no matter what happens.
Oh. You have nothing to worry about. Nothing's going to happen to you, Jack, old boy. Where are you originally from, Jack?
New York City. I was born at the Belasco Theater's location.
You were born on the stage of the Belasco Theater?
No, 44th Street, where the Belasco Theater is.
Oh, I see. Do you remember what it was like in that neighborhood 65 years ago?
Oh, they were all high stoops.
The whole neighborhood was high stoops? Well, there were a few of us low stoops around. Yeah, that's the only place they call them stoops, I think, is in New York.
New York City.
Yeah, when I first left New York, I was born on 78th Street in New York. That's true.
East Side?
Yeah, Lexington Avenue, right in the heart of three breweries, Rupert's, Ehret's, and Ringling's. And I used to hobble to school in the morning with the smell of the hops coming out of the brewery. Oh, this is true. And there was a big clock at Ehret's, on top of Ehret's.
George
brewery.
Ehret's.
Yeah, that's right. That's how he told time. And that's when we knew we were late, which was most of the time. Well, enough of this reminiscing. Betty Fenneman introduced you as a young mother. How many children do you have?
I have a set of twins.
Well, congratulations. I have a set of encyclopedias. Would you like to make a swap?
No.
You give me your two, and I'll give you Quag to Sam. Are twins very common, Betty? I know some of the twins I've met are pretty common, but I'm referring to yours now.
Well, the odds are 80 to 1.
80 to 1? Mm-hmm. Did you consult a bookie instead of a doctor when you...
No, I read some statistics
You
on
read
it.
the statistics on it. Do you believe this, Jack, that the odds are 80 to 1?
Yes, it's a fact, because I saw it in the paper, too.
Oh. You don't happen to have twins, do you, Jack?
No, not yet.
You haven't? You haven't got twins, huh?
No.
Jack, you're a grandfather, is that right?
Yes, sir, 8 times.
Are you pretty handy with a diaper?
Experience.
How many children do you have?
4.
4, huh? Do you have any comments to make about today's children? How do you feel they compare with yesterday's squawkers?
Well, the children today are nothing like when we were kids.
No, that's true. They're much younger.
No. They're very disobedient. It's hard to make them do anything. And they're not even polite to the elders.
Is that, you think that's true, Betty?
Oh, not in my experience.
No.
She's too young.
Yeah, I guess. When you were a kid, Jack, what did you do for fun? How did you play? Without television, hot rods, space uniforms, and comic books? What sort of innocent fun did you indulge in?
Oh, we had a gang from 10th Avenue.
You had a gang on 10th Avenue?
Yeah.
What kind of a gang was this?
It's called the Red Shirt Gang. One of the boys had a red shirt, and we called it the Red Shirt Gang. And we used to go around and steal sandwiches and apples and stuff all the time.
Now, Betty, aren't you sorry your twins weren't born in his generation?
No.
You wouldn't have all the expense of bringing them up. The sheriff would be doing it for you. Well, you're a nice couple, and I'd like to go on talking to you, but now it's time to play You Bet Your Life. Now, you run your $20 into more than their other couples, and you get a chance at the $1,000 question.
The first couple went broke, and the secret word is foot.
You selected Sights of London. Here's your first question. How much will you bet?
$20.
$20. Don't you want to consult with your partner here at all?
No.
Is this all satisfactory?
Yeah.
All right. What is the residence of the royal family in London called?
The Buckingham Palace.
That is correct.
You're on your way. You have $40.
Remember, you're going for $1,000 tonight. How much of the $40 you going to bet this time?
20.
20.
Huh?
40.
40?
40.
All right, I bet the
Now,
40.
she's grabbing the reins, huh? There's a famous district of wharves and warehouses that is the residential area for the Chinese population of London. What is this district called?
Limehouse District. Is it?
That's right.
You now have $80.
Here's your third question. How much will you bet?
She insists on 80.
Well, of course. She's got twins. You haven't, have you? All right. Sir Walter Raleigh and many other political prisoners were confined in a building where the crown jewels are now displayed. What is the name
Tower
of
of
this building?
London.
That's correct.
You now have $160.
Here's your last chance to beat. Is your last chance to beat the other couples. How much will you bet?
All of it.
All of it. English kings and queens are crowned in one of the most celebrated churches of the British Empire. What is the name of this church?
There's Westminster Abbey.
That is absolutely correct.
And you wind up with $320.
Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
Groucho, we invited some grammar school boys to the program tonight, and just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected Eddie Rissman. His partner is Mr. Barry O'Neill. So, gentlemen, would you please come in and meet Groucho Marx?
The shrimp boat must have just got in, huh? Barry O'Neill and Eddie Risman. Risman?
Yes,
Risman. Which one of you is Eddie Risman?
I am.
You are. How old are you, Eddie?
10 and a half.
Where are you from originally?
Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Married?
No.
Have you got a girlfriend?
No.
Why not? You're a handsome lad.
Oh, I'm too busy for that. That's sissy stuff.
You think that boys who like girls are sissies, eh? Okay, I'm a sissy and I'm proud of it. Huh? Barry O'Neill, huh? That's you? You're a fine broth of a boy. Now, how old are you, Barry, my lad?
19.
19, that's a fine age. And what part of Ireland are you from, Barry?
I'm not born in Ireland. I'm born in Stuttgart, Germany.
Well, I knew it all the time. Anybody named Barry O'Neill has to be from Stuttgart. Hey, it's written all over you. You're as Irish as sauerkraut. How is it if you're from Germany with a name like Barry O'Neill?
That's my real name. My real name is Rolf Schliehoff.
Rolf Schliehoff?
Yes.
And you changed it to Barry O'Neill? That's quite a journey, huh? Why did you change your name?
Well, I like the name Barry O'Neill because Rolf Schliehoff is hard to pronounce, and I live with Irish people, so I prefer to take the name O'Neill.
Oh. You lived with Irish people, huh?
Yes.
What prompted you to come to this country, Barry? Did you have any particular reason?
Oh, yes. It's I was, as a small boy, I always liked to come to the United States because it's a great country, and during the war, my mother, she used to wash laundry for American GIs, and I used to deliver their laundry, and I used to meet an American GI, and I told him I'd like to go to the United States. And he wrote to his folks, and he sponsored me, and after 2 years, I had the opportunity to come to the United States, and I'm sure happy I'm here.
Well, we're glad to have you here. Are you working, Barry?
Yes, I do. I work in a machine shop in Southgate.
Oh, I see. And what do you do there?
I'm a milling machine operator.
You're a what?
Milling machine.
Milling machine? Oh.
Yes.
What do you do on a job like that?
Well, I'm cutting gears and cams and all different kind of work.
I used to cut classes in school, but of course that's a different business. Have you picked up any American hobbies like the Bugs Bunny Club since you're here?
I have no time for hobbies.
You don't have time for hobbies at all? You mean you don't like girls either?
Yes, I do.
Well, I'm not completely alone up here. What do you do with your spare time, Barry?
I'm a professional fighter, and...
A boxer?
Yes.
Oh, you work all day and train every night, huh?
Yes.
Don't you occasionally take a night off for other things?
Yes, and Monday nights I'm going to National Guard.
You're liable to wind back in Germany again delivering the wash, you know that. I almost became a fighter, you know. Only two things kept me from being the greatest fighter of my time. Lack of ability and the fact that I was a coward. Eddie, have you ever had any fights around school?
Yes, I've lost most of them.
Oh, how nice, huh? What were you fighting about?
Well, a boy once pushed me off a bench, and that started a big fight.
What happened?
Oh, he pushed me off, and I got mad at him. I hit him, and he hit me back, and before you know it, we were in a fight.
Was there a girl involved in this?
No.
This is just man-to-man stuff, huh?
Yes.
Eddie, I'm curious. You know, you can win a lot of money around here tonight. Almost $1,000. Now, what would a boy do with all that money?
Well, I might get a new house and furnish it with new icebox, stove, and rug maybe. Get my mother a new dress and, maybe a lot of other stuff I'd need. Baseball equipment.
Of course, are you aware at all of the actual value of the dollar today? Huh? I think it's 46 cents. Have you considered buying a car for your father?
No, he already has one.
I see, yeah. I'm afraid to ask the next question. Eddie, what kind of a car does your old man have? Is it a DeSoto?
No.
Eddie, I'll save you a lot of time. We will need to go through the formality of the quiz. Who was buried in Grant's tomb, you see? That's right. You lose $25. Well, you're nice boys, and I wish both of you the best of luck. Now, Barry, good luck to your new life in America. And Eddie, good luck to you in the quiz.
Thank you.
You'll certainly need it. All right, now let's see how much you can win. You beat our other couples, and you'll get a chance at the $1,000 question. I can't tell you how much you have to win, but George is going to remind our listeners.
Our second couple, the mother of twins and Mr. Martin, lead with $320.
Here we go. Let's see how I can bill you $20. You selected capitals of Central and South American countries. Was there any particular reason why you picked this category, Eddie?
Well, yes, we're studying that in school. And...
I see, yeah. Well, that's unfortunate. All right, now. Here is your first question. How much will you risk?
19.
All right. What is the capital city of Chile?
San Diego. San Diego.
San Diego is right, huh? You now have $39. Remember, going for $1,000 tonight. How much of the 39 are you going to try?
38.
38. What is the capital city of Peru?
Lima.
Lima. It was named after a bean. That's right. You now have $77. And here's your third question. How much of the 77 are you going to try?
76.
76. All right. What is the capital city of Argentina?
Buenos Aires.
Buenos Aires is right. You now have $153. It's your last chance to be the other couples. How much of this money are you going to bet?
All of it.
All of it. What is the capital city of Brazil?
Rio de Janeiro.
What is it?
Rio de Janeiro.
Right. Rio de Janeiro is right. You wind up with $306, and that means that the mother of twins and Mr. Martin with $320 in just 1 minute get the chance at the DeSoto Plymouth $1,000 question. Thanks and good luck.
Friends, we've heard the same report from all over the country. The Groucho Special used cars are the best used cars in town by far. Well, that makes very good sense to us. You see, to begin with, your DeSoto Plymouth dealer gets better cars in trade-in for new DeSotos and Plymouths. That means his whole stock of used cars are fine, well-conditioned cars that are really good bargains. But then he goes through that stock of fine used cars and picks a few of the very best as Groucho specials. Groucho specials are usually low-mileage, late-model cars, specially priced to make them red-hot bargains. When you see that Groucho special sticker on a car, you know it's your DeSoto Plymouth dealer's way of pointing out what he thinks is a really good buy. Of course, all his used cars are bargain-priced with low down payments and easy budget payments stretching over many months. Tomorrow, stop in and see your friendly DeSoto Plymouth dealer. Examine his fine stock of wonderful used cars. Take special notice of those wonderful Groucho specials. You better hurry, though, because they're going fast.
And when you drive in to see the Groucho special, tell them Groucho sent you.
Here comes the winning couple, Groucho. The mother of twins and Mr. Martin, all set for the DeSoto Plymouth $1,000 question. Right in here.
Well, if you win this, each of your twins could have $250. Assuming, unless Mr. Martin wants to give you the other $500. All right, here we go for $1,000. I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer between you. Think carefully, and please no help from the audience. In September of 1942, General Leslie R. Groves was placed in charge of a newly created government agency delegated to develop the atomic bomb. For $1,000, what was the name of the first atomic bomb project that changed the course of history? Now, talk it over. What is the answer you two decided upon? No, that's a tough question. It was the Manhattan Project or District. So that means the big question next week will be worth $1,500. I'm sorry you didn't win more, but thanks to both of you and to all of our contestants on the show tonight, from the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America.
Be sure to tune in again next Wednesday night at the same time for the Groucho Marx Show, when the big question will be worth $1,500. And don't miss Groucho's television show, also presented by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America. And remember that the dealers who sell the distinguished 1953 DeSoto also sell the brilliant new Plymouth, the first truly balanced car in the low-priced field. DeSoto, Plymouth, two great new cars. Both products of the Chrysler Corporation.
And when you drive in, tell them Groucho sent you. Good night, folks, and remember, just be sure to see the distinguished new DeSoto.
Folks, here's a reminder from the National Safety Council. Twilight reduces visibility. Reduce your speed accordingly. You Bet Your Life. Transcribed from Hollywood is produced by John Goodell. Directed by Robert Dwan and Bernie Smith. Music by Jerry Fielding. This is George Fenneman signing off with more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast. You Bet Your Life is heard by our armed forces throughout the world.
Lost in Brazil invites you on an unforgettable journey, where every moment is an adventure waiting to be discovered. Join us as we uncover the soul of Brazil, one incredible experience at a time. Click on the link in the description and embark on the ultimate Brazilian odyssey.
For the American Armed Forces and their allies, a rebroadcast of the Red Skelton Show, with Shirley Mitchell, Ozzie Nelson, Harriet Hilliard, and starring Red Skelton.
Thank you very much, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. How are you tonight, Marvin? You look a little worried. Why, you haven't heard the government has going to ration women, are you?
No.
They haven't, have they?
No, Red, I'm just worried about weight.
Your waist? Well, a little exercise.
No, I mean waste in general. You know, we civilians are causing our own shortage of materials for being so wasteful.
Wish we had time. I'd like to try to read that again. Speaking of being wasteful, I know a lady was throwing a big can of trash out today, but it wasn't entirely wasted. She hit me on the head with it.
Well, you know, what we really have to save on is our automobile tires.
Yeah, everybody's walking these days. Only yesterday I saw Brett Wood walking along the street with his wife Louise, and he said he'd never walk. Anywhere he was going to ride.
What did he have to say when you met him on the street?
Well, he just says hello, and Louise carried him on down the street. Say, who do we have with us tonight that plays an important part in our American way of living, huh?
I'd like you to meet Officer Jerry Ulick, Red, a traffic officer.
Oh, where's my hat? Well, how are you there, Officer Ulick?
How are you, Red?
Oh, I'm fine. Well, it's good to see a policeman. Sort of reminds me of my father.
Was he a policeman?
No, but he went with the police a lot. Say, the police are really going to town here in Los Angeles and Hollywood with their new traffic drive. There's so many traffic cops on Sunset Boulevard, it looks like an open-air traffic court down there. No kidding, they're giving each other tickets now.
It's not quite that bad, Red, although we have been watching drivers pretty closely. The reason for that is not only to save lives, but also to keep drivers from speeding and abusing their tires. You know, there won't be any new ones for a long time.
You mean drivers or tires? You know, people should realize that the police are trying to protect them. Tell me, are traffic cops tough, huh?
I've only known one officer that was tough.
Really?
He used to yell, "Pull over, you dope." One day I saw the chief and captain riding a car just ahead of us, so I pulled up beside him. Yeah. He didn't recognize him and yelled at the top of his lungs, "All right, pull that can over, you dope."
What happened, huh?
Well, every night when he came in from walking his beat, he made me rub his feet.
Tell me, how do you approach a lawbreaker, huh?
Well, for example, when I stop a driver who's doing a left turn around a sign that says no left turn, I use the courtesy approach. I open the door, and if he don't talk back to me, I loosen my grip around his throat.
Gentle-like, huh? Tell me, has the campaign to conserve on gas and tires really resulted in the slower driving?
Most of the time, yes. But there are still far too many speeders.
Well, you know, I always figured you have to drive for 5 people. Yourself, the car in front of you, the one in the back of you, and the one coming at you.
That's 4. Where's the 5th?
She's going to pull out from the side any minute. Hey, who would you say were the best drivers, the men or the women? Well, who would you say, huh?
Red, would you mind asking me something else? My wife is a woman, you know.
She reads that like she's out there tonight. Really? I thought that was a microphone. I didn't know it was a club up in the air. Say, do many drivers argue and talk back to you?
Not many, Red. Only the ones who know they are wrong.
Yeah, I know one fellow that talks back to every cop he sees. He just yelled and yelled and yelled about he's right.
What happened to him?
Nothing. After he paid $50 fine and served 10 days in jail, they let me go. What was the strangest excuse you ever heard?
Oh, it was from a red-headed guy that I caught doing 60.
Yeah?
He said he was so tired that he couldn't lift his foot off the accelerator.
Well, Officer Jerry Ulick, thanks a lot for coming up here tonight.
Thank you, Red. And any time you want to do a personal appearance down at the traffic court, let me know.
Okay.
Here's a brand new little Scotch number that Ozzy and I are going to sing. Come on, Ozzy. Give out with the birds.
I would lay me down and die for my lassie, for she's the only lassie for me. When I'm roaming through the gloaming with my lassie, we're happy, just as happy as can be. She's my darling, my daisy, she's sweeter than the heather On a Brobrick, Minlick, Nick, we're always arm in arm together. I would lay me down and be for my lassie. For she's the only lassie, my bonny, bonny lassie. For she's the only lassie for me. Harriet's turn. Get out them brr.
I would lay me down and die for my laddie. For he's the only laddie for me. When I'm roaming through the gloaming with me laddie, we're happy, just as happy as can be. It's nice walking like this, Angus, but it's very warm. Would you buy me an ice cream soda?
Well, I'm sorry you feel warm. I'll tell you a Scotch story that'll make your blood run cold.
I would lay me down and die for my laddie, for he's the only laddie.
I'm a bonny, bonny laddie.
That was Ozzie and Harriet singing My Bony Lassie Ain't So Bony Since She's Been Eating Vitamins. Our satire tonight is on different types of drivers, and we'd like to show why our police officers turn gray. So let's look in on Bolivar Shagnasty, who believes in sharing the ride policy, but only picks up the goyle. Look at that gorgeous little blockbuster standing over on the corner, will you? Hello there, beautiful.
I don't speak to strange men, thank you.
Why, a strange man?
You're the strangest man I ever saw.
You waiting for the bus?
You're a genius. How did you know?
Well, hop in. I'll give you a lift. There probably won't be another bus along here for hours, you know.
Well, I have been waiting a long time. Are you sure it's all right?
Sure. Come on, hop in, kid. Hop in. Well, Hetty, ain't this better than waiting for that bus, huh?
I'll tell you later.
Say, what's your name, huh?
Lana Schmaltz. What's yours, Tyrone?
No, my name's Bolivar. You know, the girls all call me too good to be true, though, you know. Come on, cuddle up a little closer, will you?
Nah.
Ah, come on, cuddle up.
Take your arm from around my neck. Makes me nervous to see a man driving with his feet.
You know, I don't like your attitude, you know. Why, I'm just a Boy Scout. I'm just a Boy Scout, you know.
I didn't know they had a rat patrol.
Yeah.
Say, this is some car. Has it got a radio?
No, I don't need one.
Well, supposing you want some La Conga music, what do you do?
I just don't put oil in the motor. An old CB taught me that, you know. Come on, gorgeous. How about a little kiss, huh? Come on, how about a little goober, huh? Come on, let's swab the deck, huh? You know, I ain't no wolf, you know.
Then close your mouth. Them fangs scare me.
What do you think about me, really, huh?
I wish I'd known you when you was alive, zombie.
Now, wait a minute. I ain't so bad. The girl that gets me will get a prize.
You ought to get something for it.
Yeah.
I think you better pull over and let me out of this neckmobile. Besides, you're driving too fast.
I'm only coasting. 45 miles an hour ain't fast, you know.
Have you ever been arrested for speeding?
Only by the cops. Kind of fast on them comebacks, ain't I? Sort of like Ed Gardner, toughies, huh?
Well, look, we've got company, Romeo. There's a motorcycle cop coming for you.
Oh, there is, huh? Well, I'll guarantee you'll never catch up to...
All right, Flash Gordon. Land that rocket ship.
Well, look look, officer, I wasn't going very fast.
I know. You were just parking at 45 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Not only that, you were zigzagging all along the road.
Well, what do you suppose they put in gasoline these days? Make the car do that, huh?
Come on, tell me, where's your operator's license?
Well, here's a few tickets I bought for your police show next week, you know.
Yeah? Well, here's a ticket for you to the traffic court.
Yeah, well, that's what I get for sharing the ride with people, you know.
Well, you know, they just passed a law that you can pick up men, too. Try it sometime, buddy. Well, so long.
He don't scare me, that guy, you know. Traffic tickets, I got influential people around me, you know. Hey, where you going? Don't you want to have some fun?
I've had all the laughs I can stand. Good night, sweet prince.
Well, well done, Noive. I hope you wind up an old maid. Wind one up for me while you're at it. That's what I get for trying to be patriotic. I'll never pick up another girl as long as I live. Never, never. I'll never pick up a girl as long as... Well, look what's over on the corner there. What a happy death, huh? Oh, brother. You going my way, baby?
Oh, yes.
Hey. Hey, this is better than that Glendale bus, ain't it, huh?
Oh, yes.
Gosh, the first rose of summer. Move over here.
Oh, yes.
Is that all you can say?
Oh, yes.
Oh, boy, this is going to be good, eh? How about something a little closer then, sugar, huh?
Oh, yes.
You want to stop here and talk a little?
Yes.
Sure, we'll stop here, huh? Hey, fella, we're going to stop here. This ain't much of a place, you know, right opposite the city jail, you know.
Yes, uh-huh.
Hey, what's that you got in your hand there, a badge? Oh, you a policewoman?
Oh, yes.
When you get a new car, something always happens to it. So let's look in on the lady and her little boy. Harriet, you be my mother, and I'll be the mean little car wrecker.
Junior, get out of the driveway so I can pull in. I told you not to play in the drive. What are you doing there?
I'm just picking up some small nails.
Oh, well, now that's a good boy.
Yeah.
Small nails are bad for tires.
Yeah, I know. I'm putting down some big ones, you know. Oh, a new car, huh?
Yes, it's brand new, too. Only 5 years old.
Oh, boy, that munch gets everybody, don't he, huh?
Junior, what are you doing?
I'm just admiring the running boards while they're still on the car.
Oh, now you know I'm a good driver.
I always come back with a running board.
Sure. Last week you came back with 7 of them. And a couple of extra fenders, too, you know.
Now, Junior, you keep away from those fenders with your muddy hands. Goodness, how do your hands get so muddy?
Well, my little girlfriend bakes mud pies, and I eat them.
You eat mud pies?
Yeah.
For heaven's sake, Junior, why?
Well, Pop eats yours. Hey, is this thing hard to drive, Mom?
No, it has a hydromatic drive. So simple even a child could operate it.
Yeah? That remains to be seen, kiddo. Hey, what else it got? Does it have a heater in it?
You don't need a heater in your car in California.
Oh, no. You don't need an umbrella either if we don't mind getting wet. Hey, Mom, your lights are on. Your lights are
I'll
on.
turn them off.
Okay.
There, are they off?
No.
Are they off now?
No. Here, let me help you. They're off now.
Junior, I don't know where you get your meanness, but you certainly don't get it from me.
That's what Pop says. He said none of yours is missing, you know. Hey, can I sit in the car, Mom?
No.
I want to sit in it. I want to stand in it.
Well, all right, get in. But if I catch you standing up in the seat or wiping your hands on the upholstery,
Yeah.
I'll get the hairbrush, and you know what that means.
Yes, that means you're going to be mad because I burned every hairbrush in the house this morning.
Oh, Junior, why did you burn the hairbrushes?
Because you don't cooperate, you know. You never spanked me with a hairy side, you know. I burned them up because they've been burning me up long enough.
Sometimes I wish I hadn't answered the door when they delivered you.
Hey, Mom, where'd I come from?
Well, one cold, stormy night,
Yeah?
a fierce little goblin crept up to our door and tried to give us a small package.
Really?
Yes, and your father captured the goblin, but the package got away.
Yeah. Hey, what did Pop do with the gobblemum, huh? The gobblemum. That fooled you, didn't it, huh? Hey, what happened to the gobblemum, Mom? What's a gobblemum, huh?
Well, he named it Junior, and it's been living with us ever since.
A gobblemum? You call me a gobblemum?
Oh, Junior, I was only teasing. Here's a quarter. Here's a quarter. I'm sorry.
A quarter? Oh, okay. Come on, let's break up this taffy tour, huh?
Now, look, you be a good little boy and don't touch anything, and I'll be right back.
Okay, kiddo, okay. Boy, ain't these seats nice and soft. Uh-oh, here comes that fat man who lives next door. Boy, he looks like he got a bushel in his vest, don't he? I'm going to hide him.
Junior. Well, how are you?
I'm strapped like a rat. How are you doing, Fatso?
Junior? Soon you won't be able to call me Fatso. I've been reducing.
Really?
I just lost 3 pounds.
Well, you look behind you, you'll find it, Fatso.
Well, what a beautiful new car.
Yeah, you can look at it, but don't put your big paws on it now.
Junior, I wonder if anyone would mind if I got in.
Now, wait a minute. This ain't a sand truck, you know. This is just for people, you know. You better be careful, because I'm a gobblemum. I'll bite you.
Oh, I won't crowd you. I'll get in the back seat.
Hey, Fatso, you're stretching the door.
Well, I mean...
Okay, you'll have to sit still now. Boy, this steering wheel sure is bigger than... I couldn't believe I driving.
My, aren't we going fast? I'd say about 80.
We ain't even moving, and you know that. Beep, 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 burp. Oh, that darn finish again.
Junior, don't play with the horn.
I wouldn't touch the horn, Mom. I wouldn't touch the horn. Tattletale. Oh, look, Mom forgot to take the keys out.
You aren't thinking of starting the car, are you?
No, I already thought of it.
Of course. A short drive would be nice. It's such a grand day.
Stop crowding me into trouble. I can get there by myself.
I'll tell you what, we'll make believe that we're going for a ride and that you're driving.
Make believe, he said. Trusting old soul, ain't he? Oh, let me see. My eyes keep going back to them keys. I don't know why. If I do, I get a whipping. I do it. I got calluses anyway, boy. Now, which one's the starter button? Maybe it's this one here. Where'd the knob go?
Well, I don't know where, but wherever it went, it almost took my hair with it.
What do you mean, your hair? Mummy has long wave. I got a short wave with you. The tide's going out, you know. Oh, let's see. Maybe this is the starter button. Found it.
My, Junior, you're making a noise just like the motor.
Amazing, isn't it, huh? Now, I wonder what make it go, huh?
Junior, you've thrown me down down here on the floor. I'm wedged in here around my stomach.
Well, get your feet out of me face, will you?
Junior, shut off that motor!
I can't, Mummy. I don't know how.
Help, somebody play me out of here.
Mummy, are you scared? Come and get me. The sidewalk's moving.
Help, save me.
Hey, Mummy. Hey, Fatso, you jammed in there tight?
Absolutely. I can't move.
Well, that's good, because here comes the telephone pole right at it. I broke it.
Junior, are you all right?
That depends on what you're going to do to me.
Oh, dear, look at our pretty new car.
He's fast, isn't it, kiddo?
Oh, just look at it. It'll have to be entirely rebuilt.
Well, we couldn't use it anyway. Old Fatso was jammed in the back seat there. Start their roundup, people usually run in to get their new driver's license. So we look in on Willie Lump Lump, the night owl, who's making his application.
Service! Come on, you guys, break up that thing.
What's going on? Oh, it's you, Willie. What do you want?
I want to get a license.
What kind of a license? A driver's license, hunting license, fishing license, vendor license, marriage license, dog license, or what?
You windy old bird, ain't you? I want to get a driver's license.
Well, that's what I said first. Why didn't you stop me?
I like to watch your tonsils wave up and down. Besides, I'm not in a hurry, you know.
Well, I am. What's your name?
Willie Lump Lump. You know my name. It's spelled with a small Willie and a capital lump.
Well, let's see. You'll have to answer a few questions. Are you married?
No, I've always had these circles under my eyes.
Do you have any ailments?
I should say not. My whole family were American citizens.
Is there any insanity in your family?
What's the idea of writing in yes before I answer that question?
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, tell me now, what do you do if a man steps out of a safety zone?
I knock him right back in. I do it so he won't get hurt, you know.
All right, let's check your eyes.
Oh, you don't have to check them. I'll tell you what they are. They're bloodshot.
Willie, I declare you're hopeless.
And I got papers to prove it.
Here now the eye test. Cover your eye with this cardboard and read that top line.
Okay.
Well, what does it say?
Don't rush me. It says Police.
What does that spell?
Trouble.
Now we'll blindfold you, turn you around a few times, and see how your equilibrium is.
Oh, no, you don't. Oh, no, you don't.
It's part of the test.
Oh, yes, sir. You ain't catching my equilibrium.
Now it's very simple. You sit right in this chair.
Okay. Hey.
There.
Hey.
What's the matter? Do you feel a little dizzy?
I didn't know you could get this way so cheap.
Here, now, you take this paper and go outside to the policeman who will give you a driving test.
Well, if he wants to end his career today, it's all right with me, you know. Hey, where's the guy going to give me the test? Huh?
I am. Where's your car?
What do you think that is wrapped around the telephone pole?
That's a car? How do you get into this dishpan?
Well, how do you think? You crawl in from under the hood. We might have to crank it, you know.
Yeah? What happened to the starter button?
I don't know. I sent it to the auto laundry and it came back with a button missing.
When does it start moving?
Huh?
When does it start moving?
You'll have to wait till I start it up first, bud. It starts moving just as soon as I hit it with a hammer.
Hadn't you better pull over?
Why, huh?
Why, you're driving down the left side of the road.
So what? I got my lights on there, huh?
Look out. We're going to hit that truck.
Yeah, we'll hit it. Hardly worth the effort, was it?
Don't try crossing those tracks. There's a train coming.
Oh, we can beat it across. We can beat it.
I tell you, we can't make it.
Well, we'll soon find out, Bud.
Boy, the way you drive, you'll never get a license.
Never get a license, huh? Don't need one now, anyway.
This is the Armed Forces Radio Service.
Enjoying the timeless classics on Golden Age Radio? If you're loving the nostalgia and captivating stories, consider supporting our channel with a tip. Your generosity helps us continue bringing you the best of vintage radio entertainment. Simply click on the link in the description.
Kraft presents The Great Gildersleeve. Each week at this time, Kraft presents from Hollywood, California, Harold Peary as The Great Gildersleeve, written by Leonard L. Levinson. We'll hear from The Great Gildersleeve in just a moment. But right now, here's a question for you. Did you know that you can overeat and still be undernourished? That it's not so much the quantity of food you eat as the kind of food you eat that's important? Well, it's true. And that's why you should learn all you can about the right foods to serve your family. Wholesome, protective foods that provide the energy and real nourishment your family needs. So it's important to you that delicious Parquet margarine made by Kraft is one of the right foods, and that it's so economical you can serve your family all they need. Yes, Parquet margarine is a protective food that's packed full of wholesome nourishment. Parquet is one of the best sources of food energy you can serve. And you all know how important vitamin A is. It's truly a protective vitamin. Well, Parquet margarine is rich in vitamin A. There are 9,000 units in every pound. And don't forget, Parquet is the margarine with the delicious flavor, whether you use it at the table for baking or for pan frying. So ask your dealer for delicious, economical Parquet margarine made by Kraft. Just ask for Parquet. P-A-R-K-A-Y. And now let's visit our friend, the Great Gildersleeve.
Mr. Gildersleeve, report of estate of Marjorie and Leroy Forrester miners submitted by Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve, Guardian.
Well, it looks very neat, Ted. Should impress Judge Hooker. Is it complete?
All but the name of that firm that leased the 12th Street property.
Oh, yes. Let's see. What was that firm? Oh, yes, the Swanky Hanky Shoppy.
Thanks. I'll just fill that in. It was a 99-year lease, wasn't it?
Yes, 99 years with monthly options. Oh, Marjorie.
Hello, Ted.
Hi, Margie. Say, that's a new dress, isn't it?
Yes. What do you think of it?
Stop asking him questions, Marjorie, or he'll charge the estate for giving a legal opinion. I'll go in the other room, young man, and tend to your papers.
Okay.
Did you want me?
Yes. All ready to go to court, eh?
Uh-huh.
What about your brother? Where is Leroy?
Oh, I sent him to change his shirt for the third time. Uncle, I wish we'd make him get rid of that printing press.
Well, little boys will always revert to type. Now tell him to hurry. I don't want to be late. This is important, and I'm getting jittery about it.
Oh, now relax and take it easy, Uncle Throckmorton.
Relax?
Ted says the report is in fine shape. Why, there's nothing to be excited about. Now, is there?
No, by George. Come to think of it, I've done wonders. If I do say so myself. In fact, I will say so myself. I've done wonders.
I think so. Why, since you arrived in Summerfield a month ago, you've straightened out all of our investments, rented that vacant property, and even put the kitchen on a budget. Why, Judge Hooker should be very pleased.
I hope so. I made up my mind to demonstrate to that old... What is it Leroy calls him? Old Leroy?
What, Uncle Mort?
What was it I told you not to call Judge Hooker?
Pickle Puss.
That's it. I made up my mind to show that old pickle puss that a competent businessman could administer this estate properly. Why? Because you can't put anything over on me.
Excuse me, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yes, Bertie?
Where did you buy them bananas?
Well, from a man in a truck. They were bargains, too. The stores want 30 cents a dozen, and he only charged me 25.
Well, he done gypped you. There was only 9 bananas.
Yes. As I was saying, Marjorie, you can't put anything over on my type of businessman. We have a certain alertness. Great Danes.
What's wrong?
Look at the time. We'll be late for court.
Oh, but court stays open until 5 o'clock, Uncle Moore.
Yes, but we can't just drop in whenever we want, my dear. It isn't a barbershop, you know. We have to be there when the judge is ready to take us.
Oh, like a beauty parlor.
Yes. You see, I don't want to arrive late and have trouble with old Cucumber Face. I've got to get back here and pack up my bags so I can take the night train.
The night train?
Yes. Oh, I forgot to tell you. I'm going back to Wistful Vista this evening.
Oh, Uncle Mort.
Huh?
I thought you were going to stay here and live with us.
Well, I am. That's why I'm going back to Wistful Vista.
Huh?
To sell or lease my house there.
You are? Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, Leroy.
Yeah, what's it?
Uncle Mort's going to sell his house in Wistful Vista and come back here and live with us.
Oh, boy, gee, that's wonderful, Uncle Mort.
Take it easy.
Do you want me to make you a for sale sign on my printing press?
No. Thanks just the same. You haven't got that many shirts to spare. Oh, Ted, is it time to go?
Yes, we should hurry down to the courthouse.
Everybody ready? Leroy, Marjorie, Ted, Bertie?
Bertie's not going to court with us, Uncle Mort.
I know that. I just want a glass of water. That ham I had for breakfast. Water, Bertie.
Yes, Mr. Gildersleeve, bringing it.
Good. Anybody else want any water?
No,
no.
thank you.
Here you are, sir.
You better hurry, Mr. Gildersleeve.
1 second while I drink this. Thanks, Bertie. Now I'm ready to go. Oh. Excuse me, I must have drunk too fast.
Wait a minute, Ted. I think Uncle Mort has the hiccups.
Hiccups? No, I'll be all right. Ooh.
Maybe you better do something about it.
No, I'll be all right.
Well, Uncle Mort, you better sit down and rest a minute.
Well, what about court? You know, old Judge...
Judge Hooker, he'll wait.
Yes, I can have it put over till tomorrow.
But I got to get back to Wistful Vista, Ted. I couldn't do that. Or could I?
Why not, Unc?
No. I'll be all right in a few minutes. Oh, isn't this silly?
Now, don't try to talk, Uncle Mort. Just sit quietly for a few minutes and rest.
Rest? All right, I'll rest.
Maybe it'd help if you unbuttoned your vest, Unc.
Unbutton my vest? I'll try it. Yes, that seems a little better. Oh! Spoke too soon. Better button it up again. Yeah.
Say, I know a sure cure for hiccups. It never fails.
It doesn't? Well, what is it?
Drink a glass of water.
Oh, but Marjorie, my dear, don't you remember? That's how I got him, drinking water.
No, but you didn't drink slowly.
Slowly.
You've got to take 9 swallows of water and not breathe in between.
Not breathe? What am I, a fish?
Now, Uncle Mort, it's cured thousands.
Sure, you know, a hair from the dog that bit you.
Ted, this is hiccups, not hydrophobia.
Well, I'll get a glass of water.
You better get a pitcher in case one glassful won't do it.
What are you trying to do? Drown him? No more water, Marjorie. One more swallow and I'll fly back to Capistrano. Oh, help me out of this rocking chair. I'm getting seasick.
Cheer up, Unc. If you can keep on hiccuping for another 2 hours, you'll get your picture in Strange Things.
You're a bright boy, Leroy. Now keep quiet.
Mr. Gildersleeve, I just remembered something that'll take care of those hiccups.
You do, Ted? What is it?
But it's simply a matter of breath control. Say, Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers without taking a breath.
Oh,
Go on, try it, Uncle Mort.
Well, all right. Peter Piper picked...
No, slower, like this.
Like this.
Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. That way.
Peter Piper picked... picked... Oh, more water, Bertie.
Here we is, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Thanks. Well, who's got the next suggestion? Step right up. Don't be bashful. Gildersleeve the guinea pig. That's me.
I wouldn't be bringing it up, Mr. Gildersleeve, except I know it'll work positively. Now, if you hold a cold silver knife on the back of your neck, then hiccups will be gone with the wind.
Well, all right, I'll try anything once. If you got a cold knife, Bertie.
Yes, sir. I brought one right here with me, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Unbutton your collar, Uncle. There.
Ooh, it sends the shivers up and down my spine. Where'd you get that knife, Bertie?
I had it in the refrigerator. You never can tell when a nice cold knife comes in handy.
Hey, Uncle Mort. Uncle Mort, I was outside talking to my pal Piggy Banks, and when he had the hiccups, Say, what's that knife doing in your back? Did they operate on you?
Oh, no, Leroy. Bertie suggested cold silver against the back of my neck.
Oh, that won't work.
It will, too, you Leroy. I've been watching your uncle since he tried it, and he ain't hicked once.
By George, come to think of it, I haven't hicked. This is wonderful, Bertie. Thanks very much. Remind me to give you $1. Ted, let's get started for the courthouse.
But, Uncle Mort, a cold knife against the back of the neck cures nosebleeds, not hiccups.
Why, that's right.
Oh, I thought so, too.
You mean to say it's not good for hiccups? Oh, jumping jelly beans. Oh, they've come back again. Forget about that dollar, Bertie.
Say, Uncle Mort, I know a sure cure. I can't miss.
No, Leroy. It's my turn this time. I've just remembered a remedy.
But that isn't fair. I spoke up first.
Say, whose hiccups are these? Yours or mine?
Okay, go ahead. They're your hiccups.
What's
your remedy, Uncle Mort?
Well, I'll take a cold shower. The shock should stop me.
It sounds logical.
Well, it won't hurt at any rate. We got to do something so I won't keep speaking out of turn in court.
I'll get the car out of the garage.
I bet that shower doesn't work, Marge. Now, my idea is to scare Uncle Mort. What for? Well, that's an absolute positive cure for hiccups. How do you know? It cured Piggy Banks when he had something terrible. How'd he get them? Drinking a whole bottle of pop at one gulp. Honest, his family tried everything. Then his kid brother put a string of firecrackers in his pocket and lit the fuse. That did the trick, all right, all right. But didn't those firecrackers burn a big hole in his coat pocket? No, Piggy wasn't wearing a coat. Gee, if I could only think of something super to pull on Uncle Mort, I bet I'd scare the hiccups right out of him. Now, you wait a minute, Leroy. Don't you do anything drastic. Oh, me? When did I ever do anything? Say, how's about it if I put ketchup on my head and stagger into his room and fall down on the floor? Leroy Forrester, now don't you dare. Well, all right. Let's see. What else would frighten those darn old hiccups?
Ooh. Oh, it's freezing in the shower. Bertie must be using the hot water in the kitchen. Oh, this water is ice cold. Oh.
Uncle Mort! Uncle Mort!
Yes?
Uncle Mort, where are you? The house is on fire.
What?
The house is on fire.
Oh, I've got to get out of here. Oh, where's my clothes? No time for clothes. My bathrobe, where'd I put it? Never mind, here's a big towel. All right, come on, Leroy. Which way shall we go?
No, Uncle Mort, go back.
Why?
Because you still got the hiccup.
What's that got to do with my house being on fire?
It isn't on fire. I was just trying to scare you.
Scare me? What's the big idea?
Gee, I only meant it for the best. I was just trying to frighten the hiccups away.
If I ever ran out of the house like this, I'd frighten the neighbors away.
I'm awful sorry, Uncle Mort. Say, you better get back in the shower. There's a big drip on the carpet.
Who, me? You clear out of here now. As soon as I get dry, we're going down to the court. Hiccups or no hiccups? All right, folks. I'm ready to go now. Come on, Ted. Come on, Marjorie.
We're coming.
Yeah. Where's Leroy?
I think he went out. He must be waiting in the car.
Good. I hope the judge doesn't mind.
Okay, buddy, stick him up. Your money or your life.
Leroy, come out of that closet and put back that water pistol.
Oh, that didn't work either.
You can't frighten me, Leroy. I'll go out and get in the car, young man.
I told you, Leroy. Just you wait. I'll figure out a scheme that'll make Uncle Mort forget all about those beeps of his.
Yeah. Now, get in the car, everybody. Lovely day, isn't it? Too bad I can't appreciate it. Maybe being in the fresh air like this, my hiccups will... Oh, no, they won't. Oh, the car's doing it, too.
Boy, every time you hiccup, PP, your foot goes down on the gas.
You think so?
Yes. You want to stop and let me drive?
No, we haven't got time.
Careful, Uncle Mort. Careful, you just went through a traffic signal.
I can't help it. I'm afraid they're getting worse. Oh, lots worse. Yeah, the curve, officer. Yeah.
What's the idea of driving down the street like a jackrabbit and jumping the signal? Where's your driver's license?
Well, it's like this, officer.
Oh, it's like that, is it? Hey, what's going on here?
My uncle has a severe attack of hiccups.
Yes, he got it drinking a glass of water.
Water, huh? Well, that's original anyway.
He's been hiccuping for hours. Show the officer how you've been hiccuping, Uncle.
See?
Never mind, I've heard him before.
Officer, we're in somewhat of a hurry. We're rushing down to the...
I get it, to a doctor. Well, come on.
What? Oh, of course, that's it. Where's the nearest doctor, officer? Let's not dilly-dally.
Gee, you got it bad. Follow me. I'll clear a way for you.
Thank you.
Well, here we are, Medical Center building.
Oh, I don't know how to thank you, officer.
Yes.
That's all right. Same thing happened to my sister's kid 2 months ago. You know how we cured her? Made her eat a quart of ice cream fast.
Oh, yes. Well, I'll put that down on my list.
Hurry, Uncle Mort. Shall we go with you?
No, you two children stay here with Ted. Oh.
Going up?
Yes. Is there a doctor in the building who specializes in hiccups? I mean, a cure for hiccups?
Oh, you might try Dr. Simard on 7th. Get in, please.
Yeah.
Say, you've got them bad, mister.
Yeah.
Well, I know something that will cure them in no time.
You do? What is it?
Eat a quart of ice cream fast.
Yeah.
7th floor. There's Dr. Simard's waiting room, 4 doors down.
Thank you very much. All this fuss over these silly hiccups. Well, at least I'll get rid of them for sure now. Dr. E.E. Simard, throat, chest, and stomach. That should cover hiccups, I guess. Oh.
How do you do? Do you wish to see the doctor?
No, I just dropped in to catch up on my last year's reading.
Well, you should do something about those hiccups. Now, a quart of ice cream eaten fast.
I know, it's a sure cure. But I want some competent medical advice. Is the doctor busy?
Not at the moment. Now, if you'll step in here and disrobe.
I don't want to disrobe. I want to see the doctor.
But if the doctor is going to examine you,
He keeps his clothes on, doesn't he?
Yes.
Well, then I'll keep mine on, too. Where is he?
Step in here. Doctor, this gentleman wishes to consult.
Tut, Miss Wood. How many times have I told you that patients must disrobe? We've been all through that, Doctor. There's no need for me to do that. You can see what's wrong with me.
Open your mouth, please, and unbutton your vest. Thank you. You can close your mouth now. Well, it didn't take me long to diagnose this case.
No?
No. You're suffering from an intermittent, uncontrollable diaphragmatic spasm causing a sudden inhalation which is interrupted by a spasmodic closure of the glottis.
I am?
Yes.
Well, what does that mean, Doctor?
You hiccup.
I know I hiccup. I can hear myself. How do I get rid of them?
Now, don't get excited. I have a painless and infallible cure.
Oh, you have? What is it?
Eat a quart of ice cream fast. That'll be $5, please.
Oh!
The judge's chambers are down at the end of the hall, T.P.
Oh, jumping jeeps. Look at the clock. This is of a time to show up.
Feeling better, Uncle Mort?
No. I've eaten so much ice cream, I sound like a good humor man.
Now, take it easy, Uncle Mort.
You take it easy, young man. And don't say anything to the judge.
Here we are.
Ted, did you send the financial report down this morning? Shh, keep quiet.
Now, don't worry. That report went down early. Should make a wonderful impression. Well, come on, let's go.
Yeah, might as well face old Pickle Puss.
Careful, Leroy. Anything you say will be used against me.
Come in.
Hello, Judge Hooker.
At last. I was ready to go home. What you hiccuping for, Gildersleeve?
For about 4 hours now.
Uncle Mort's been suffering all day long, Judge. Yeah, maybe if you could frighten him,
Quiet,
Judge.
Leroy, quiet. Yes, Judge. I'd have been here sooner except for that.
Well, I'm glad you sent down your report, Mr. Gildersleeve. Gave me time to study it. I'm pleased with what I found.
Gee, that's swell, Judge.
I thought you could do a good job for these children.
You did? Well, thank you, Judge Hooker. In that case, we can leave. Come on, Leroy. Come on, Marjorie. Come on, Ted.
What's your rush, Gildersleeve? Take it easy.
Oh.
You're nothing but a bundle of nerves.
Yes.
I never knew nerves came in such large bundles.
That's very good. I wonder if it'd be all right if I was absent from my duties for a while, Judge. I have some business to wind up in Wistful Vista.
Sure. Go right ahead. Take all the time you want.
Oh?
Only be back next week.
Oh. Yes, I see. Well, thanks, Judge. Excuse it, please.
Oh, poor Uncle Mort. You can't travel in that condition. I bet Mr. Fowler at the drugstore would have something to relieve you. Let us two go see him, Marge. And if he can't help, I know a couple of other guys that can. All right. If you'll excuse us, we'll run along.
Certainly.
Goodbye, then.
Goodbye.
You drive Uncle Mort home.
Sure.
Hey, Leroy.
Well, Ted, let's get started. Oh, I can't stop that.
Hey, those hiccups must be annoying.
They are, indeed they are.
By the way, I know a sure cure for hiccups.
What, you too?
Oh, this one never fails. All you need is a brown paper bag.
A brown paper bag? Well, that takes the prize.
Shall I go out and get one, Judge?
No, here's the bag. Wait a minute. Wait till I dump the apples out.
Apples?
I teach a class at law school, and the boys always bring me apples. Now, let's try this remedy.
Oh, no, don't bother, Judge. I think they're stopping now.
Now, let's make sure. All you have to do is to breathe in and out of this bag. Understand?
I understand what to do, but I don't understand why.
Well, you will. Just put your face in the bag. Fine. You look better already. Now, go ahead and breathe. Oh. The principle is this. Normally, you exhale carbon dioxide and inhale oxygen.
I see.
But this way, you inhale the carbon dioxide you've already exhaled.
I see.
Is that clear?
No.
Well, if you stop inhaling oxygen, you'll stop hiccuping. It's really very simple.
So are you.
You ought to be all right by now. How are you feeling?
Worse. Oh, my, and I almost had him licked.
Strange. It's never failed before. Let me see. There's a hole in the bag.
Oh, take me home, Ted. I'm going right to bed. Oh, stop that.
Hey, Lefty.
Yeah?
Here's a pillowcase. The ball is silver in here.
Okay.
Now, when we go out, if anyone asks who we are, we're the laundryman.
I got you, Red. Shall we take this silver cup, too?
Let me see. Awarded to Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve, first place potato race annual picnic, Gildersleeve Girdleworks.
Hey, I guess he was the whole works, huh? What do you say?
No. It's more trouble than it's worth.
Oh, yes. You're too easily traced, huh?
Hey, you sure there's no dough laying around?
No. I looked every place, even behind the wallpaper.
You think we should take any more clothes, Lefty?
No. I'm wearing 3 of this guy's suits already, one on top of the other. I'd hate to have to run from some copper this way.
Yeah, it's too bad we didn't snag any dough. Well, let's get going.
Okay, you take it easy. Say, look.
Get away from that window.
Hey, there's a big fat guy coming up the walk. Quick, out the back way.
Wait a minute. Is he alone?
Yeah, let's get out of here.
No, wait. I bet he's got a fat bankroll in his pocket. Let's hide behind these curtains.
But where?
Make it snappy.
But where?
Darling, you and I know the reason.
Okay, buddy, stick him up.
Now, Leroy.
What do you mean, Leroy? Get him up.
Oh, I see. You must be a friend of Leroy's. Yeah, he put you up to this, eh? What'll that boy think of next?
I says for you to get them hands up and keep quiet, too.
I'm sorry, mister, but it didn't work. I still got him. You see?
Hey, Red.
Oh, you brought a friend, eh?
What's the matter with this guy?
I thought you knew. I've got the hiccups. You see?
Look. This is a gun in my hand.
Yep.
And I've got a good notion to let you have it.
No, thanks. I wouldn't know what to do with it if you did.
Hey, Red.
Yeah.
Should I give it to him?
No, I don't want yours either.
You're asking for it, mister.
I am not. I don't want any guns. I'm afraid of guns. Sometimes they're loaded.
Shall I plug him, Red?
Well, I don't think that'd cure me either, mister.
Stand out of the way, Red. I'll show this smart aleck.
Well, very realistic. Blanks, eh?
You missed. He moved. I'll try again.
Don't do that. You'll have every cop in town here.
Oh, gangbusters.
What are you going to do with a guy like that?
I know. Lefty, you stick your gat in his ribs and I'll frisk him.
Okay. Now hold still, will you? This time I can't miss.
Now cut it out. Cut it out.
Still.
Sorry, I'm ticklish.
You
Stop it! Here, give me that gun.
No. You get away from there. Hurry up, Red.
I can't. All right. Let's take his pants off.
What?
Yeah. That way we get his roll and he can't follow us either.
Okay.
Oh, no, you don't. By George, that's carrying things too far. Fine friends Leroy has taking my... Keep your hands off me, you fellows.
Grab him, Red.
Oh, look out for those flowers. I warned you. Now you see what... Oh!
That's right, Lefty. Throw him on the floor.
Oh, you want to fight, eh? Well, all right. Oh, get off of me before I... Wait a minute, boys. Wait a minute. Stop.
Oh, you give in, huh?
Yes. You can quit now. My hiccups are all gone.
More double push. Grab his legs, Red.
Get away from me, Red. Oh, Leroy should have never done this.
That's right, Lefty. Sit on him.
What is this? Wearing my new blue serge suit. This is the last straw. I'm not going to stand for you.
Help me, Red. Get him off. Hold still while I hit him. No. Now, don't move. Now
Now look what you've done. You've clunked your little partner.
Hey, Lefty. Speak to me.
Yeah, speak to him, Lefty. Hi, George. He's out cold. Give me that gun before you do any more damage.
Oh, no, you don't. Ouch, my foot. Oh.
The minute I saw those tight shoes, I knew you had corns.
Hey, mister, please.
What?
Please don't point that gun at me. You're just nuts enough to shoot me.
That's a very good idea. A couple of blanks might teach you not to go
No,
around.
no.
Huh?
Uncle Mort, what's the big idea leaving the front door open?
Well, at last you're here, young man. Those two friends of yours are nothing but a couple of roughnecks.
What friends? Who are these guys?
Come, Leroy. Stop pretending. It's all right. My hiccups have disappeared.
Come on, Uncle Mort. Oh! Look at this room.
What?
Who's that man? Sleeping on the floor.
That's one of Leroy's friends, and he's not sleeping. Don't try to sneak out, Red.
Gee, I
Come back here, Red, and tell Leroy what you did to me.
Well, Uncle, I never saw these men before in my life. And what's all our silverware doing in a pillowcase? Uncle Mort, these guys are burglars.
They are? What? They weren't fooling? And to think that I... Oh, my. Now I've got the hiccups all over again. Oh.
The Great Gildersleeve will be with us again in a few minutes. But first, I want to say that being a mere man puts me at quite a disadvantage in talking to you housewives, especially you housewives who are really good cooks, because so many of you are probably already using delicious parquet margarine made by Kraft, and already know from your own experience that it's a grand-tasting, economical margarine that can be used in many ways. Yes, you know, for instance, that parquet margarine is really delicious for table use, and good for your family, too. You know that parquet makes cookies, cakes, and pie crust taste better because it's a genuine flavor shortening that adds its own delicate taste to all baked foods. You know that parquet margarine seasons hot vegetables to a queen's taste, makes pan-fried foods taste better, too, and it doesn't spatter or stick to the pan. And don't overlook the fact that parquet margarine is a highly nutritious energy food and a year-round source of vitamin A. Yes, you housewives who use parquet know how good it is. But some of you listeners probably haven't tried parquet margarine yet. Well, if you haven't, try it. Yes, ask your dealer for a pound or two of parquet margarine tomorrow. Just say parquet, P-A-R-K-A-Y. It's made by Kraft.
Your bag's all packed, Uncle Mort.
Oh, thank you, Marjorie.
Say, Unc, how soon will you get back from Wistful Vista?
Not until Wednesday.
Oh, you'll be gone that long?
Yes. I've got to put my house up for sale, and I also want to be on hand to greet my two little chums, Fibber McGee and Molly, when they return from their vacation Tuesday night.
Say, maybe Fibber McGee would buy your house.
No. From my past experience with Fibber McGee, he wouldn't buy the place, he'd just borrow it. Good night.
Original music heard on this program was composed and conducted by William Randolph. This is Jim Bannon speaking for the Kraft Cheese Company and inviting you to be with us again next week at this same time for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
Exciting news through the vibrant landscapes and diverse culture of Brazil. Lost in Brazil brings you to captivating videos showcasing heart-pounding adventures, mouth-watering cuisine, and hidden gems of this incredible country. From bustling cities to tranquil beaches, our videos capture the essence of Brazil's beauty. Experience the warmth of its people, the rhythm of its music, and the thrill of exploration. Click on the link in the description to find out more.
I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to Old Time Radio Research Group for their remarkable efforts in preserving and archiving the captivating world of old-time radio programs. Their invaluable contribution allows us to step back in time and experience the magic of radio history firsthand. Their link is in the description below.